Anne-Marie here in person. We So yeah, in honor of this, we are doing the Lord of the Rings this weekend. We are starting with the Fellowship of the Ring, obviously. As everybody knows, I love this movie. I've read the book several times over. I have the audiobook. I read the book before the movie came out, so yeah. It's going to be hard for me not to sing all the songs that are in it, so...
I read the book after I watched the movie, and I saw the movie 3 times in theaters, mostly for Orlando Bloom.
Totally fair. It works. Hey, I'm not gonna.
He's not even gonna be in the first. We're watching we're watching the extended edition, and it's 2 discs long. And I get the feeling I won't even see Orlando Bloom.
He's in like 30 seconds of the first of this, because this one ends right after they form the Fellowship of the Ring.
I figued that's where.
So
we'll meet him, and he'll say, "You have my bow."
Pretty much. That's all he's. That's pretty much all he's gonna say.
Except he doesn't sound like that. That was my Gimli impersonation.
Yeah, man, it works. You have my bow. You have my axe.
Yeah.
So, granted, I know all the lines he actually says, but he says more than "you have my bow." So, but yeah, I think in this he has 4 lines, maybe 5. So yeah, but
get to it.
So yeah. Obviously, I will do my best not to go into all the lore things. Well, let me pull up comments on my phone so I can keep track. If anybody does have questions, I will do my best to keep track of that. As soon as I pull it up on my phone, real quick. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. All right. So I will have comments on my phone. So if anybody does have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. Yeah. So. We will go ahead and get this started. We are watching this on the Blu-ray player. We are currently 8 seconds in. It's the New Line Cinema logo is starting to appear. Like I said, 8 seconds. So anybody who wants to watch this with us, go ahead and pull it up. And in 3, 2, 1, play. Check. Turn this off, or I don't know. I'm not sure how your battery life is.
It'll shut off by itself.
Okay, fair enough. The first thing I want to get into is, because everybody knows this iconic opening, what they originally wanted to do, they wanted to postpone this until when Gandalf's talking to Frodo about, where Gandalf's like, this is the One Ring. They wanted to have this then, but they couldn't figure out a way to make that sell, so they had to kind of put it all up front. And I mean, honestly, there's not a lot. I just want to be like, I have no other idea how the hell Peter Jackson made these movies, because I don't know how you can make a lot of it sell, but
he did.
Yes, he did. And I think a lot of that has to do with, because a lot of what Peter Jackson did before this was exploitation films, is what I call them. And I think that's what helped him out a lot. Yes. Here down the ship right in the back, there. Galadriel, obviously, and Celebrimbor. And there's a lot of that's a lot of stuff. I probably shouldn't bug you with that, but
why did they have a whole 9? 9's a lot of rings.
All the rings were actually meant for the elves. It's just Sauron, when Sauron captured the lesser 16 rings, he captured the 7 first, so he gave them to the dwarves, and then he captured the 9 and then gave them to the men. So it was it's what he had at that time, basically. Yeah.
To control all others. And into this ring, he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate.
And another little lore thing, the reason Sauron created the One Ring is that so basically now he's tied to Middle Earth, and they can't really get rid of him easily.
How did he get that ring on over that gauntlet? It had points.
It grows. It grows in strength. Numenorians.
A lost alliance of men and
it does need to be said, all these outfits you see, I mean, obviously they use a lot of CGI, but whenever you see the outfits up close like there, that's real chainmail. The 2 guys who made that literally wore the fingerprints off their thumbs doing all of that. I'm sorry. And whenever we see Hugo Weaving, I'm just thinking, Mr. Anderson.
I was gonna say, hey, look, it's Agent Smith.
So yeah, every time I see him. There's Gil Galad. Nice little cameo for him. I know no one who knows who that is but me, but hey. And I do love this part here of just I will mention in the books Sauron actually never uses a weapon. So this is more Morgoth, who was basically Sauron's boss, who was always using a mace. And I think that's probably best because I don't know how else you could really sell Sauron coming up and just murdering people with his bare hands, because that's what he does. No, I mean, that's literally how he killed Gil-galad. He just grabbed him by his neck and his hatred set the guy on fire. Also, nice little nitpick. A lot of people don't know why would you just reach for him and not use the hammer? In the book, Sauron's actually defeated when he cuts the ring off. So that's, I mean, granted, there's no way you can really make that sell either. And the sword was broken when Elendil fell on it. And this part here, this always kind of bugged me. It's like, okay, was no one apparently bracing their feet and they all just got knocked over like dominoes? That's kind of one thing that always kind of bugged me.
It was just a force that strong. You can't brace your feet against a tornado, Jacob.
It's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Sorry.
The ring passed to Isildur, who had this one chance to destroy evil.
Yeah.
But the hearts of men are easily corrupt.
Trying to remember I don't remember exactly how long Isildur had the ring before he was killed with it, but it was basically, I think it was like 3 months. Because he was on his way to Rivendell, I think, right after the battle. There's the first time we see it really put on. And yeah, see the ring just chooses the side.
Betrayed Isildur to his death.
Yeah. Ouch. He's very bloody for considering there's only 3 arrows in his back.
And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost.
Oh, and real quick, I have not actually watched The Rings of Power yet. I know someone's going to ask that, so I do apologize.
My sisters liked it, but they weren't big fans. So if it strayed from stuff, they didn't care.
Yeah, that's like I said, I haven't.
And I've heard it's really pretty, like the cinematography and like all the scenes are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. So I knew I should probably mention that real quick because, like I said, I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and watch it yet. So bear with me on that. We should mention in these early movies, they really went hard on Gollum being very, like he's almost entirely CG, obviously. But then in the later movies, they just really said, okay, well, we have Andy Serkis, we'll just use it. They just really based it more off his face.
I mean, like Gollum's barely in this. It's just for that shot. I think it's the only
it's
time
that
you
shot.
see him.
He has 2 other little scenes. There's one in Moria, and then there's one later on.
Yeah, so like they didn't. What's the point of wasting the money on
an
actor when you don't really need
him?
They
they had to have Gollum in it in some way,
right?
Because I mean, Gollum does play a part in the books too.
Yeah, but I mean, like even the character design, if you pay attention close enough, like he's got different colored eyes in this one than the other two, and like they did not have Gollum firmly planned yet.
Yeah. Here.
Hey, that's not
how it works in The Hobbit.
That's not Martin Freeman.
Yes, that is one thing. Although I do love Ian Holm as Bilbo. I do love Ian Holm as Bilbo, so I really wish they could have gotten Ian Holm to do The Hobbit, but I mean, at that point he was just so old, there was no way they could have done it, unfortunately. But
that would have been a lot of.
Granted, I will say Martin Freeman is not too bad as Bilbo, but.
I like him.
Yeah.
He was the only part of that movie I liked.
That's fair.
I only watched the second one. Whatever one has the dragon. Is that the third one? I honestly don't know.
He's mostly in the second one. He's partly in the third.
Yeah, the second one's the only Hobbit
He's in the
movie I
third one.
watched.
He's in the third one for 10 minutes until he dies, basically.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
So
I watched it because I'm like, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch is voicing the dragon.
Mm-hmm. I watched it because I'm just such a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I will say I don't absolutely hate The Hobbit, but I will say that it is.
That's how everyone feels about those movies.
It's nowhere near.
They're like, I don't hate them, but they're not.
They're exploitation films to the nth degree of being exploitation films, unfortunately.
Well, he took a book that was like a couple hundred pages,
345 pages,
and turned it into 3 movies.
Yeah, there's no way you can do that.
When he took a 1,000-page book and had 3 movies for it, like
each of the Lord of the Rings books is like 500 something pages. I think the Fellowship is 549.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's a long ass book. There's a reason why it was split into 3 movies.
And oh gosh, this is like, I want to point this out. A lot of what you see here, this is very nostalgic for me because this is a lot of like the town I grew up in, just very rural, very farm. Because like I said, it's a farm town.
Everybody was barefoot and had hairy feet.
Well, not everybody was barefoot, but you know what I mean. It's very rural. There's pigs, there's chickens everywhere. I've shown you freaking chickens escaping, and I live in Sioux Falls now. I live in a city now, and people still have chickens.
People have chickens everywhere.
Yeah. That's the one thing that always gets me, like, are they pets or what? I don't know.
Sometimes they can be.
So, and there's our first sight of Rosie, who just everybody is after Rosie.
Oh, that was supposed to be Rosie?
Yeah.
They have the same actress play her in the third one, too.
I believe. And yes, that's what he's saying here isn't directly from the book, but it is super close. And this is why I'm like, gosh damn it, I want to live in the Shire so bad. Oh man, I would love it so much.
Aw, look at Sean Astin.
Young Sean Astin.
I mean, he's not that young. If you want to see young Sean Astin, watch The Goonies.
Oh, God, oh, you're right. Or wasn't he in that soccer movie too?
No, football, Rudy.
Oh. I thought he was. What was the goat soccer movie? I forget what it was called. Go Be Green or something.
I have no idea.
Happy birthday, Bilbo Baggins! 111th birthday. And it should also mention Frodo's birthday is the same day as Bilbo's, and
doesn't he turn? He's turning 33.
He's turning 33. Yes.
But they obviously age differently because he's still like.
Well, in the books, 17 years passes from the party till when Frodo actually leaves.
No, I remember.
So
because I remember reading the book, I'm like, this is like a 45-year-old dude. Like,
I
don't want to read about that. No offense to like my husband who is now that age, but like.
Well, I mean, granted, hobbits do grow. I mean, they age slower than what humans do.
Right, obviously, the house you're gonna make it to your 111th birthday.
I mean, and here's the thing: he's not even the oldest hobbit at this point. That'd be Bill Took.
Look at 19-year-old Elijah Wood or 18-year-old Elijah Wood.
Also, want to point out, you will notice how you never see Frodo's face and Gandalf's face in this, and that's because obviously they have a body double.
Yes.
And I have
Peter Jackson did a lot of fancy camera work to
a lot of it. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, although what we're coming up here, we got
the table scene is the
see in there you saw that again force. What we got here coming up is forced perspective.
Yes.
And I do have one fault in it. I'll point it out when we see it. You see Frodo, how he's looking. He's not looking. He's kind of looking ahead like this. He's not looking directly to the side where Gandalf would be, and that's because Ian McCall. Ian McCall. What the hell's wrong?
I have no idea.
The guy playing Gandalf is sitting like 3 feet.
Yeah.
Closer than what Frodo is, and unfortunately, Frodo is not looking to his side like he should be. He's kind of looking at him, unfortunately, and that's a Saxquill Baggins, which they really. I understand why they have that reference, but I really don't think they should have. Just because Sackville Baggins played no part in the books really until the Scouring of the Shire, which they
didn't even play in the movies for obvious
which to be fair,
that would have made it so long, and that movie was already long enough.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although this part, Frodo is in on everything. Frodo knows exactly what Bilbo's planning on doing, so he wouldn't be saying. But yeah. And this part here where he thinks he lost it. I do like that they have this little scene.
Trying to find your glasses when they're on top of your head.
Yeah, well, but I think they do the scene a little. I think they played a little too much. I do appreciate it, but I think I thought it was longer than that. I feel like I saw a version where he like almost tore up the entire back end looking for that.
Maybe even they realized that's even too long for the extended edition.
Yeah. No, there's only really one scene that I'm really like, okay, you really should have cut this down, and that's in Return of the King, and we will get to that. We will be making jokes.
I fell asleep the last time I tried watching Return of the King extended edition.
Well, like I said, we'll be cracking jokes at the scene in question.
Keep your secrets.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's a good gif.
Yeah. Baggins is
Never had any adventures or did anything unexpected.
How boring.
Yeah. And I love this here. It was barely involved. All was give your uncle a little nudge out the door. No, you threw a freaking dwarf rave party at his house. You did more than push him out the door. And here, the kids. One little change they had in the book, he doesn't actually show any fireworks. He makes them all wait for the party, but in this, he decides he'll give them a little sneak peek. I do love the look Frodo gives it there. And a lot of, like, some of those kids are Peter Jackson's actual kids. You actually get to watch Peter Jackson kids because there's a cameo in each of them.
Well, why not?
Yeah. Dogs are fighting.
I know. They're fine. They're not barking at each other.
I'm just hoping they don't knock over the computer.
Yeah, me too, actually. If the computer goes down, you'll know why.
Yeah, we got... Yeah. And then here, when they built this, they all used temporary materials, but these movies were such a huge hit, and it really got New Zealand, I mean, especially in the movie business, because now New Zealand they have an industry there. They're a thing.
If you need pretty mountains, you film in New Zealand.
Oh, not just that, stunt doubles. That, like I said, a lot of it is stunt doubles are a big one. A lot of voice actors, a lot of small name actors. This is probably one of my favorite scenes of this movie. I just adore this. Just love it. Yeah. But yeah, whenever you can see Gandalf's face, they have like I said, they have a body double. I don't remember how tall the guy is, but he's like 7 feet tall, and like the same guy also does like he does Sauron. He did Sauron in the beginning part. I think he did like a bunch. Whenever they need a big, like the Witch King later. Whenever they need a tall character, they use him. And here they're actually on 2 separate sets, being filmed separately, obviously. And they're just hiding it together with quick editing, which is pretty easy to do. Anybody, I mean, if you know how to do any sort of video editing, you could do that easily. So it's just, you got to cut the film together, and that's super easy.
I remembered watching about that, how they made like the small set and filmed Ian McKellen here, and then they made a normal size set to make the hobbits look normal size.
And we'll mention it was not actually scripted that he hit his head there. So there's a little bit of a debate going, did he do this intentionally or did he actually forget?
Oh
and because here's the thing, he's being he hasn't even said what he's doing.
I mean, like, tall people don't always remember to duck through doorways.
I'm 6'2". I know. I gave myself a concussion at one of my old jobs.
See, so.
And when I say I gave myself a concussion, I mean I legitimately went to the hospital with diagnosed concussion.
So I think it's very likely that he did not do it. Who wants to hit their head on purpose?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The Sackville Bangs is again just, we want back ends because we want back ends and blah blah blah. And like I said, I really think you could have just cut them out of the movie entirely, but Hello, Tara. Thank you for watching. My favorite scene is both of you on. Thank you, Tara. So, yes. Yes. Obviously Gandalf is in on what Bilbo's planning to do. Like I said, Frodo already knows too. He wouldn't suspect. He knows, but I do love how he's like, because that is pretty much straight from the book too. Bilbo doesn't really have a lot of respect for a lot of the hobbits because a lot of them are very basic and plain, I guess is the best way to say it.
Bilbo's seen the world.
Yes.
And everybody else in the Shire hasn't.
Yep. Except for the Tooks and the Brandy books, but yeah. Which is, again, lore stuff. If you want to know, ask me, I will message you. Because I don't want to go into the entire thing here because we'd be sitting here till midnight at least. Like I said, if you have any little lore questions, I will message you them when I get the chance. So. Yeah, and this is quote is straight from the book. Which is good. I mean, which is a good thing because a lot of what they say is either straight from the book or phrased differently. And here we got another great scene of the party. In fact, I mean not to. Oh yeah, I forgot they have the smoking scene, which is also a good scene. Old Toby.
Oh, where they make the fun shapes out of the
Yep.
smoke.
Where he makes a smoke ring, and then Gandalf decides to make an entire vessel about it, which always reminds me of what was her name? What French queen made a boat of her hair? I forget.
Marie Antoinette.
Yes, thank you. Yep. I do love this party scene too.
God, this movie is
look at
22 years old.
Yep. And Frodo there flirting with the girls almost. And here, oh god, yeah, and there, Rosie clearly like Sam is trying. It's like, come on, Sam, she wants you, but you gotta. And then, no, I don't.
Aw, Frodo's a good friend.
He's a good wingman.
Yeah.
But like I said, Rosie has, especially in these, Rosie loves Sam and just adores Sam. She's just waiting for him to make the move. And yeah, Lay's talking about the trolls, which we have a little cameo of it later. And again, Peter Jackson's children.
Ew, who wants to make jelly by sitting on things?
And I love Gandalf there dancing. And then
I love how Gandalf's just having fun with the fireworks. He's like, which one shall I like next?
Yeah, no. Yeah. In the actual books, Merry and Pippin, I mean, granted, that's obvious because it's hard to decide what you're going to do with Merry and Pippin in the movies as compared to the books. But in the books, they're just like really good friends of Frodo, and they're not these mischievous. Thank you.
Wow, okay then.
Thank you, Bilbo. Oh, no. He actually invited them to the party, so I'm a little bit confused as to why he's like...
How? I mean, like, even if you didn't invite them, like, how are you not going to invite someone, honestly?
To be fair, in the entire in the book, people he didn't invite still showed up to the party, but...
When your whole neighborhood has a party, whether or not you were invited, you're going to go.
No, but not only were the Sackville and Bagginses invited to the party, they were like they sat at like the table because there was like a big table where Bilbo sat with Frodo, Gandalf, and everything. The Sackville Bagginses actually sat at that table too. So, yep. I do love that.
Oh, well, yes.
Are you drunk? Yes.
Of got the great music going on in the background.
Yep, nice.
Is it John Williams who did this one?
No, Howard Shore.
Okay. Well, it's on point.
Yeah.
Got a great
this right
soundtrack.
here, yeah. And this firework is, like I said, pretty much exactly what you see it do is line for line from the book, and I do love it. I mean, it turns into a dragon, and yeah. Yeah. And then it just starts somersaulting over the bywater and just kaboom.
Oh, that's pretty though.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Like I said, that's right from exactly how it's written in the book is how it's done.
Scared the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And then just be pretty.
Yeah, then here, ah! Mary Duck. Yep. And they get punished by washing dishes. In the book, they don't call for Bilbo to give a speech. He just actually does it because he loves talking. He's like me. He just loves the sound of his own voice. And we get pretty much all the Hobbit names. Neat.
$11-1.
Yep. Yep. This is kind of where the speech kind of takes a turn for the worse, but yeah.
What half am I in?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you see everybody looking at each other like that. I think that what they should have had is because in the book he's described as having his hands would be behind his back whenever he does giving a speech. So I think they should have had him have his hands behind his back the entire speech instead of having him very obviously reach for something in his pocket.
Nah, it's more fun this way.
Yeah. We're actually going to get into one, probably the biggest change that happens at this point in the movie. And that is when he disappears here. In the book, Gandalf makes a flash so that everybody thinks, oh, it's Gandalf being a dick. They don't think Bilbo has anything to do with it. They just think, oh, it's Gandalf being an asshole. So, and that keeps suspicion away from Bilbo. Whereas in this, if someone were to just disappear, that would be on the national news, even without the internet.
Yeah, it's just a neat party trick.
Yep.
Everyone's drunk.
Yeah, fair enough.
And those who aren't drunk, the drunk ones in the morning will be like, nah, you can't just disappear.
Yeah.
See? It was a terribly clever trick.
But like I said, I do in the book of Gandalf makes a flash so everybody suspects that it's Gandalf being dick and not Bilbo. But because even at this point, Gandalf suspects that the ring might be the one, but he doesn't know for certain. And he grabs his favorite pipe, which a tiny little detail, but I love that they have it in. Don't mess with the cat.
No, it's not.
Yep.
Liar.
Mind you, a lot of this is in the don't mess with that.
Here, just toss her over to me. Yeah. Give me your purr. Thank you, Percy. Yeah, you good kitty cat. Sit on my lap. Just sit on my lap.
I will, which, hey, I do gotta say, for anybody who knows that my history with cats, this cat actually likes me, so hey, I'm thrilled.
Percy likes everybody.
Good kitty.
What are you doing in her butt? Everyone just saw Wolfwood sniff.
Yeah. Well, that's how dogs read each other.
You're not supposed to be on the cat. What are you doing? You know better.
I love to swat their nose.
Yeah.
Yep, and again.
It's mine! It's mine! Yeah. Wow, that's some gaslighting crap. If I'm angry, it's your fault. Whoa, hey now, that's not how that works.
I do love this where they get. I think they had to digitally do his eyes like that, but
how wide they got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it for yourself? And then, oh gosh, love this. In the book, he's described as getting taller. I almost kind of wish they had him like. I mean, obviously, I understand why they didn't, but I kind of wish they had him on like an elevated platform that would raise him up a little bit and then lower him back down. And here. Just...
Okay, Percy. Don't throw up on my lap. Thank you.
Yeah, please don't do that. That's not what we need to do in stream.
You can just sit there and purr.
Good kitty. Yep.
Let it go. Let it go. Oh, wrong movie.
I don't actually know that song.
That's all I know.
The last time I saw that movie, I was watching my niece during her Christmas time, so it's been a while. It was before my nephew was even born. So, I should also point out a lot of you'll like here Gandalf's like the ring is still in your pocket. A lot of what they make evidence of in the book is like they'll be like like later on. Frodo has a scene where it's like, okay, I'm gonna throw this ring into the little fire, the hearth fire there they have, and he makes the motion to throw the ring, but he had already put the ring back in his pocket, and he just didn't realize it. So they have a couple scenes of that, and here also the floor is magnetized, obviously, because otherwise the ring would just bing, bounced away. So I had to magnetize the floor to get it to thud like that.
And he lives happily ever after.
Yep. Till the end of his days.
I'm sure you will.
Yep. I love the wink. And yes, like I said, I know all these songs. I'm gonna do my best not to sing them along because I could. Because, that's one of the things about the books is like every 5 pages there's another song.
I just skipped over them when I read the book.
Like I said, I know them all. I am such a nerd.
I am too, but not for this.
Yeah, no, well, that's fine.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're more for Back to the Future than I am.
I am.
So.
I love this movie. I love time travel. Don't do it, Gandalf. Don't touch it.
He just kind of maybe brushes by it and then he gets, wait a minute.
He's like, no.
Yep. Well, like I said, he already suspects that it's the One Ring, and he's just kind of like he doesn't know for certain, but he suspects that it is at this point. Yeah, when Bilbo said "precious," that's where he's like, okay, yeah, something, yeah.
Aw, he didn't even say goodbye to Frodo.
Yeah. And that's from the book too. He didn't say goodbye to Frodo, but like I said, Frodo was in on that. He was just gonna up and disappear and leave. He didn't. Yeah, he hoped that he would say goodbye, but he didn't.
It's quite the.
Yeah, it's quite the shock.
Leaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it's my 111th birthday. Everybody celebrate me. Peace. Peace.
Although I do hope that when I turn 111, I can have a big party of that. Assuming I turn to 111, if I actually don't think I will, but I actually don't think I want to, honestly. That reminds me of my grandma, she did not want to live to see 100, and then she's like 90. I think she was 98, and then she did not want to see 100, and she didn't make it. And like I said, she really did not want to make it. So.
Questions that need answering.
You've only just arrived. I don't understand.
I do love this shot of between the chandelier. But like I said, that's kind of an exploitation film shot, that was what Peter Jackson did all the way up until this point. And then after this, he tried to become more of a...
He did King Kong.
Yeah. I was just trying to think, flip me.
He did Transformers, right? I'm kidding. That was Michael Bay. Well, Michael Bay did King Kong. What did Percy?
No. Peter Jackson did do King Kong.
Okay, he did?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Michael Bay may have produced King Kong. I think Michael Bay was involved in that movie in some way, but I don't recall. It's been so long and I haven't seen it forever now. King Kong, yeah. You've never seen it?
No.
It wasn't that good, so.
Uh-oh.
I shot a Mountain Dew. And
Forgot
here,
they
Minas Ithil.
somehow got a hold of Gollum.
Yeah, Minas Morgul. 9 right out. And in the book, it's described that that Gollum was going to the Shire, but then for some reason he turned around and started going back to Mordor. It's the way it's described is that Sauron's kind of drawing all evil forces to him, and because Gollum had the ring for so long, he's been corrupted in that regard. Yep. And here at the Library of Gondor, which, holy cow, I want to...
All those loose pages and candles.
To be fair, that's how a lot of how they did it back in those days.
Year 34,
Yep.
It follows the account of the Silver, High King of Gondor, and the finding of the Ring of Power.
Oh shoot, my battery's only at 15%. I forgot to charge it. Do you have a charger I can borrow?
What kind of?
It's the Type C.
Yeah, it's actually one of those red cords right over there should.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Aha! There we go. So, yeah, they get a nice close up of the ring changing power or changing shape, changing power. Ah! I get tongue tied easily, as everybody knows.
I think one of the original extended editions came with a copy of that ring. I feel like I had one in my house for some reason.
I know they.
One of them came with bookends. Because my sister wanted that one. I don't know if she got it. I'll have to ask.
And this. Yeah, the dog just no bailout.
Yep, noping out. I don't blame them.
Yep. Yep, and this is the only thing is that in the actual book, the hobbits are a lot more hostile to the Black Riders.
Elijah Wood's not even old enough to drink in this movie. I'm just throwing that out there. Billy Boyd, I think, just turned 21.
Yep.
He turned 21 twice during the filming of this movie because of time zones.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because they were leaving on his birthday, so he turned 21, and then they flew to England, which is behind a day, so he got to turn 21 again. I think I saw that on the specials on this, come to think of it.
And here's where we see one big change of just how language has evolved, because the word that the hobbits always use in the book is queer, and in here they're using cracked, and it's just by how the English language has changed, obviously. Because I mean, had they said queer, it wouldn't have made sense to a lot of people, so they say cracked because that makes a lot more sense. And then here, where somebody's hitting on Rosie, and he's like, "You might do your sweet." Like I said, Rosie
knows an idiot when she sees one.
Well, like I said,
Sam's like, "Wait, am I the idiot?"
If you don't ask her out, yes, you are the idiot. But because, like I said, Rosie has a crush on Sam. It's just she's waiting for him to make the move. All he's got to do is ask her out, and she would be 100%. Which is one thing that always kind of got me about the differences between this and like Game of Thrones, because in Game of Thrones, oh my gosh, Sam would just throw her arm to the table and have her there in front of everybody, pretty much. Pig squeals. Here. Yeah. And this part.
I like how up until now, Frodo didn't even give a crap about the ring.
He didn't.
He barely knew where it was.
He didn't even know it was the One Ring, and that's one of the things of the ring is that you have to know it's the One Ring for it to be able to have any effect on you, because otherwise you just think it's a ring. You would have nothing. You wouldn't know, and that's why Frodo was able to just put it in a freaking in a little cabinet and had no idea.
I think Gandalf was hoping that it was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I mean, he knew
he
it was.
He figured it was, but he was hoping.
Yeah,
maybe
but yeah, he was.
Wrong.
He was praying.
And for
like,
a second, he was like, "Thank God!"
Yeah, he
and
was
now
just like,
he's
yep.
like,
"F." So. And obviously, there's more to this poem than what they just said here, but yeah.
The one ring to find them, the one ring to bring them all, and into darkness bind them.
Yeah. Like I said, I know the entire poem because that's just the last bit. But yeah, like I said earlier, they were going to have the whole opening credits here where he's explaining this and then do it in flashback. But I honestly don't know how you could get that to sell.
No, I like.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think bookending it with the narration from Galadriel makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Apparently, Gandalf was supposed to do the narration too, but I think Galadriel does. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do.
Kate.
Kate Blanchett just.
Yeah, her voice is just suited for that.
So yeah, she's
very elfish.
Yep.
She's got the features for it, and
elfish,
like
by the way.
Yeah. What did I say?
Elfish. It's ELV, not ELF, but
sure. Yeah, it's fine. Whispers and black speech.
Yep.
Just black speech.
Yeah.
That's what the subtitle said.
Yep. And obviously, you should.
Hey, it's a Horcrux.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, it is. You should hear Sam tending the gardens because in the book he is, tending the gardens too. But in the book, there's a whole conspiracy between Sam, Merry, Pippin, and Fatty Bolger, who's not included in this movie, unfortunately. Which to be fair, I understand why they had to cut Fatty Bolger out, because although it would have been cool to see him, I do understand, because he doesn't go with them on the quest. He stays behind to make it look like Frodo's staying still in the Shire. What are you so worked up about?
He's always worked up. Don't worry about it. This is what I have to live with.
Fair enough.
What are you doing, Wolfie? Go sit on your doggy beds over there.
Yeah, and here. No one else knows it's here. And then he's like, unfortunately, yes, someone else did. Fucking creature gone. Yep. And that's...
The endless screams and they babble, they discern two words.
If you're torturing him, I don't think you'd have his arms free. I think you'd have his arms restrained in some
that's
way.
kind of weird. What kind of torture devices?
I mean, granted, it's hard. It's not exactly clear what exactly they're doing.
But that would lead them here.
Yeah, and here, like I said, the hobbits are actually a lot more. They raise an alarm when the Black Riders come in force, and they're like, no. Yeah, here, there's... But like I've described before, it's like if he were to claim the ring, it's like, yeah, he'd do a spell. He'd like do a spell, but it would become an evil spell just by the ring's, corrupting effect.
We cannot stay in the Shire.
No.
Uh-oh, Frodo.
Yep.
You've got to go.
Yep. Well, I mean, he's just like, okay, I got to get it. At first, it's just like, okay, I'm going to get it to Rivendell, and then they'll decide what to do with it there.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Because that's what Frodo originally thinks is going to happen. But then, unfortunately...
Yeah, Frodo is just trying to find someone else to give it to.
Pretty much, yeah. The end of the principle.
Sure.
Maybe. It'll be there.
He's packing a whole loaf of bread.
Well, that is one thing that a lot of movies don't describe that Lord of the Rings actually does is when you're camping, you have to pack your food along with you.
I know. It's just
the entire loaf is a little.
How does he fit this all in his satchel? That's what I was looking at. I'm like,
But yeah, in the books, it's more sausages and stuff like that.
That would make
more salted
sense.
Meats that would last longer than bread.
Like bread would go stale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but like that is what people used to eat. They would just pack bread and cheese when they would go And the bread would
Well,
get
that's
stale,
how
and they would just kind of gnaw on it. Because
Yeah.
what else are you gonna do? They don't have. You can't take a refrigerator with you.
Yeah.
They didn't have refrigerators,
But
and you still
that's
can't
how
take
they
it with you.
that's how they fed Roman soldiers is literally cheese. Period.
Yeah.
And then they just bops them right on the head.
Poor Sam.
Yeah, I do love.
I have no.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about a rain.
Yeah.
Nope. The Verge.
Yeah, that was they could have done the what? That's not even in the book, so I'm a little so confused. But yeah, that it's like I heard a little bit about this, the end of the world.
Don't turn me into anything unnatural.
And
No, but you're gonna have to leave with Frodo now
Yeah.
because I can't have people knowing where he's at.
It's actually Sam doesn't say don't turn me into anything unnatural. Gandalf actually threatens him that I'll turn you into something unnatural. But yeah, like I said, in the book, Sam knows he's going with Frodo as well as Merry and Pippin, although only Pippin would be with him at this time. Because the Shire is an entire flipping country almost. And so they have to march quite a ways before they meet up with Merry. Apparently my foot's a pillow now.
Yeah.
It's all right. Oh no, the bird! They got the bird squeaking on the TV, and then the dog's like, "Oh wait!" Yep. But yeah, we see. I do love it. Just you see them, and like I said, it's the Shire is like an entire country. It's not just a little. It's not just a city. It's a thing.
And Shire is an actual English word. It does not mean just the Shire, Middle Earth. It is also the meaning of like green fields.
Mm-hmm.
It was a word in Wordle. My sister was like, "This isn't a real word." It is.
Yes, it is.
It's just an English word.
Yeah.
It's not a very common
It's not something that.
American English word. Oh my God, Sam. I like how Frodo this whole time hasn't even been thinking about, this is the farthest I've ever been from home. That's cool.
Well, Frodo's been farther than this away
Has
from
he?
home. Yeah, he grew up a lot farther than this when he was a kid.
Oh, I don't
He
know.
grew up on the edge of the old forest, so he grew up in Buckland. So, I mean, his dad died by
That's
the
why
river,
he's not
so.
phased at all by this.
Yeah,
trip.
he's still. Yeah, like I said, so he grew up in a place called Buckland, which they're not here. Yeah, they literally meet the elves before they come across Buckland. And we're gonna see the elves here. They don't actually meet the elves like they do in the book. Because there's one elf like Gildor who we don't unfortunately see in this.
I feel like this was not in the original trailer.
It was no. This is
This is definitely
extended
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, they actually walk with the elves for a while. I mean, they spend the night with the elves, and I do love how they kind of give them a glowy effect.
Yeah.
Even though the elves wouldn't actually only like elves that have actually been to Valinor would have that, not so much elves that had been born to Middle Earth. So those elves would not have that effect. Glorfindel, who was cut from this movie, unfortunately would, but yeah, that's kind of a rule first camping out is if you can't get comfortable, literally just lay down and just do your best to imagine you're at home and you'll be able to, and it sometimes work, not always. Although you should really blow out the fire.
Yeah. Only you can prevent forest fires, Frodo.
Yeah.
Smokey the Bear would be very disappointed in you.
And this scene kind of makes me think of the Barrow Downs just by how it looks, but it is just an introduction of the Black Forest. And Orthanc or Isengard, Orthanc's the tower, Isengard is the land. So
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Oh, it's the other movie.
yeah, that's the next movie. So.
The second movie.
And here, Christopher Lee wanted to play Gandalf, but I don't remember why he wasn't able to. But And Christopher Lee
Is
also
it because he's too much of a badass already?
maybe. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I know he wanted to play, and apparently Christopher Tolkien apparently said that if they ever did make a movie, he wanted to play Gandalf, but for whatever reason he just couldn't. I don't know why, but Christopher Lee was a huge Tolkien fan. He read the books every year up until his death. So. And it's like the halfling leaf. Yeah, it's like, dude, you enjoy that leaf just as much as Gandalf does. I know. I mean, he keeps it secret. But he's he loves that smoke just as much. Okay. I love the fire thing.
Oh my god, Tara.
Thank you, Tara. I look forward to meeting you in person too, Tara.
Yeah. We'll see her tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. In the book, Sauron actually has a physical form. So I don't know why they say he doesn't here, but I guess it is kind of understandable because, like, well, if he has physical form, how come he doesn't actually do anything? But the reason they go all in on the eye effect is because in later scenes they really do emphasize an eye wreathed in flame. So that's why they said, okay, we're just gonna go all in on that, which to be fair makes sense. And Feanor made those lasting stones. Not that it matters, but hey. And before anybody asks, if there are any evil elves? Yes, there are evil elves. Feanor may not be evil, but he certainly is not good. There is one in particular. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
kill the one who cares.
But yeah, I will make it quick because remember how I said
how
there's.
Did you not see that?
How you didn't see this coming here? Yeah, at this point, I think you'd be like, okay, he's
like as soon as he shows you the thing and you saw the eye.
Yeah,
he's showing you his hand right now. He clearly doesn't mean for you to leave.
Yeah. It's like like you said, he's showing you his hand. He's basically like, I have all aces. What do you got?
There are 7 wizards, right?
Yeah. No, 5.
I forgot. I just know one of the doctors plays one of them in The Hobbit.
Mm-hmm. Radagast the Brown.
Oh. Sylvester.
Yeah. And then there are the 2 blue wizards who go out to the east, and we actually have little knowledge of what the hell they're doing. I forget.
Okay.
I can't remember all their names, unfortunately, off the top of my head.
Saruman, the wives of that beast of madness.
Pop!
Because when you're mad, the madness seems like reason.
Yeah.
Here we just see 2 old guys fighting.
To be fair, how else are they? I mean, it's kind of like how else would you show them fighting like this? But
no, I mean they just have really good stunt doubles.
Yeah. Yeah. Ouch. And this part here where it's like, oh fuck.
Yep. Now you're doomed.
I will say the wizards can use magic without their staves. The staves are just kind of like a focus.
Now we're gonna spin.
Yep.
Whee!
Dance break.
Break dancing.
Yeah, thank you. Which, if I remember correctly, in the Harry Potter can't they use? I think they can use magic without their wands, can't they?
No.
They can't.
No.
Didn't Harry make the glass disappear without it? Wow.
He did, but it's because he's a young wizard and he hasn't learned to fully control his magic yet.
Okay. So yeah. Frodo? And here.
Frodo!
He's like, I thought I lost you.
Like, it's not actually a good thing to use magic without your wand.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think that's kind of because like I said, J.K. Rowling obviously had read Lord of the Rings before reading Harry the Potter. Harry the Potter, oh my god, I'm losing it. But like I said, the wizards can use magic without their wands. It's just like a focusing lens to make it safer.
At least these two were stealing food when they ran into them.
It's straight from the books.
Oh no, I know.
But where Frodo would steal the mushrooms from Farmer Maggot.
But I mean, if you're gonna go, take it with you. You're gonna
take
need
it with you.
Ah,
Just
Sam, you
panicked.
have 2 more people now with your party. You're gonna need the food.
Yep. Yes. Although, who has a farm right on a cliff?
Plenty of people. If you live in an area that has cliffs, you're going to farm right up until you can't farm anymore.
Oh, ouch. Although that scene does remind me of the princess, frick.
As you
Where they're rolling down the hill. Sorry.
Shortcut to what?
An actual chapter in the book is titled "A Shortcut to Mushrooms." So, and here, this scene actually doesn't appear in the book. There's no scene of them hiding from the Black Rider, and like run under a log. But there are a couple of times where they hide from Black Riders. This one scene was like done in a picture that was done before they made the book, like just some fan picture. And then Peter Jackson loved so much that they co-opted it. And to be fair, I think it's very powerful. I do love it. Although it's very, very nice that tree root just so happens to have a big space for just that happened big enough.
It was like
also, I will point out, you notice how you see on that side of the tree, you can see past but the horse didn't come from that way. It just came from there.
Yeah,
but
came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And the hooves just have the nails stuck in them. Obviously not real nails stuck into a horse's foot. But it's just like...
This guy cannot see very well, can he?
The Black Riders actually can't see at all.
No,
they would perceive... Like, if a Black Rider were sitting here, he would perceive you and I as shadows unless we put on the ring. Then we'd shine like a sun to him, but... And that's why it's like trying to get Frodo to put on the ring, because like I said, if a Black Rider, it would just see us as shadows. It wouldn't see us.
That makes so much more sense then.
Which, I mean, mind you, it's hard. It would be very hard to get that to sell on TV. They can hear and smell just fine. It's just, but yeah, like I said, they can't see, and that's just because there's because there are basically 2 worlds. A little bit of lore there, but there are basically 2 worlds. You got the seen world and the unseen world. They're so far gone into the unseen world that they can't really see the seen world anymore.
They kind of do show that later in this movie. Mm-hmm. That's right too. Yeah. I forgot.
When they're on Weathertop.
Yeah.
Here.
But yeah, like at this point in the movie, you're watching it and you're like, how does that rider not see them? It's broad daylight. You can clearly see through that tree he's leaning on.
Yeah. The one thing is kind of like, why would like I said, in the book it makes sense, but in the context of this movie, from what we've seen, why would Merry and Pippin join them? It really doesn't make sense, but I will say actually Farmer Maggot actually helps them out a lot with the Black Riders, but... And they cut out the entire thing of the Old Forest and Tom Bombadil, which is a shame, but totally understandable because there is no way you could get Tom Bombadil in this movie and not have the movie be an extra hour.
See, I guess Merry and Pippin came with them because they're going to show them the way to get to wherever they're going.
Huckleberry Ferry.
Yeah.
The horses can see just fine, but... Yeah, I just see this and I'm always just like, they're running around their bare feet. I'm a little bit surprised that none of them got injured, splintered on that. Sean Astin got a real bad thing in his foot later in this movie, but...
I'm surprised they didn't have any kind of like protectant on the bottom of their feet, like for the actual film. Like if you're gonna walk
they
around,
did their best to like go through the ground to make sure that like okay they're walking on soft.
Yeah, but
ground
I mean
and
like they
stuff that.
obviously have something fake on the top of their foot to make it hairy. Why didn't they just make them like?
Well, they had like some kind of gel layer at the bottom, but it wasn't like a super thick.
I mean, it's probably just like wearing a flip flop or something, I guess.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, basically, it's like they extended the foot out to so much, made it hairy, and had like a little gel layer at the bottom. Nice.
Prancing pony.
Yep.
An English accent.
Yep. Well, he's frightened. Yep, and it pretty much. It should mention that the gatekeeper is actually. I mean, he comes off a lot nicer in this than he comes off in the books. I mean, it's never explicitly said that he's in league with Sauron, but he's not a good guy.
He doesn't give a crap. He's probably
in this he doesn't give a shit. In this he doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
God bless you. And again.
Thank you.
And the Bree folk are just. I mean, a lot of hobbits did live in Bree too, and.
Well, I mean, it's right next to the Shire, so I'm sure they had like some trade and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Got to get that hobbit weed.
But yeah, Bree was
the hobbit plant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the book, there's like a giant like party going on, and they just kind of stumble into it.
Yeah, there's
Mary doesn't. Mary actually goes out, goes for a walk and encounters the Black Riders. But Sam, Pippin, and Frodo are all. It is. I do think that they did this a little bit better than in the book, because in the book, Pippin doesn't full on become so stupid as he does in this. But I do think this is a nice foreshortening of detail. So yeah, there's like Wizard is never late, nor is he early. Well, he got delayed, so he's late. Yeah, it is. They were like, okay, well, we're going to meet Gandalf at the Prancing Pony. And then it was like, well, crap, what do we do?
Did they not? I was going to say, maybe they just beat Gandalf. I mean, we know where Gandalf is.
Yeah.
It's Saruman.
What they were planning on doing is getting to Bree, and then because they knew they were probably going to have to go to Rivendell anyway.
Hey, that's what I look like when I drink a liter of beer, by the way. That's me at Oktoberfest. What is that? It's a whole liter.
It's a Yep. But you'll notice how he used the name Underhill. There were a lot of Underhill hobbits in Bree. So they take Frodo on as a long lost cousin. And the story he gives as to why he's leaving the Shire is because he's writing books about hobbits far and wide. So
I forgot that Aragorn went by a different name.
Strider, yep.
It has been a while, guys.
And if you actually read some of the original notes, Strider was really supposed to be Trotter, who was just going to be a hobbit that wore shoes. But I mean, this is in the very early drafts. But then
his fingernails are just so gross looking.
Yeah,
they're bit down way too far, and they're all dirty. And can we stop having close-ups of them, please? Jeez. I get why they're dirty.
Yeah,
but oh my god, they're bit so far down. It's.
How far down are your nails?
You can. Yeah. My nails go past my fingers like normal people.
Yeah.
Out of here. Oh god.
Yeah, here.
And Viggo Mortensen is the classic case of the actor that said yes to please his children.
Yes, because they had
catches a ring like that.
Yeah, in the I got two stories to go. But Viggo Mortensen was because they had another Strider. They had another Aragorn cast. I can't remember who it was.
I think he was too old or too young.
Yeah.
Too young.
I think it was too young.
Too young.
And yeah, so they called him Viggo Mortensen, and it was quite literally like, "Hey, can you get on a plane in like now?"
Because they'd already filmed some scenes with the other guy, and they weren't liking the direction. Like they didn't like how it looked. Like it didn't match Peter Jackson's vision.
Yeah. But like I said, but yeah, it was very much just like, can you get on a plane now? And like you said, it was Viggo Mortensen's kid was very much.
He was a big fan, and he's like, yeah, Dad, you need to do this.
And then in the book, Frodo doesn't like fall back and catch the ring on his finger because what he does is because Pippin is kind of getting like a little too much attention to himself. So Frodo, trying to stop Pippin from being too stupid, does probably one of the dumbest things you could do and jumps on top of a table and starts drawing all attention to himself. And he starts singing a little song.
I knew there were songs in the book at this point.
Yeah, he starts singing "Hey Little Cat in the Fiddle," and the table he's on falls over, and when it falls over, the ring slips on his finger.
Wow, long shot.
Yeah,
I'm trembling in my boots.
Yeah, well, even he's like, yeah, I'm so terrified. Yeah, and here. Little obvious. You see how they flattened that poor guy? Obviously what it is, there's a little area he falls back into. But yeah. But they do this exact same thing where they don't stay in the room they were gonna stay in, and it's a good thing because the room they were gonna stay in gets absolutely ransacked.
Oh no, they're coming for them. They're all sleeping in their soft little hobbits beds.
Yep.
I like the image of them all with their big swords.
This is just super creepy.
And then you have to move it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you enter the room holding this? Like, you can't actually. Well, no, I guess you would actually fight that way.
That's more.
But if you're gonna stab them.
That's more of a how do I want to say it? Like
a two-handed sword type of hold, which is actually it makes sense now that I do it.
Yeah.
What have you gotten yourself into, Strider?
Yeah, and everybody wakes up because they hear the screaming. In the books, they didn't actually hear any screaming. They just literally go into the room the next day and see it's been torn to absolute shreds.
Dead. Undead. Undead.
Great kings of
only one of them has actually ever been named, and that's not even the Witch King that actually has a name. I can't remember. It's Curhill, I think. It's not like I said. The Witch King is like the Witch King's right hand man. It's Curhill, and he was a king from the south. This is a nice shortening up of detail where you just. We got a nice shot of Bree in the background. I do love that. They don't have a scene. I was hoping that for some reason I thought they'd have a scene of because in the books they have a scene where you see them camping out, but they see like a bunch of flashing lights in the distance, and they don't know what it is. Just like what's going on. It's actually Gandalf fighting the Ringwraiths on Weathertop. And I don't think they have that in there.
We have no choice but to trust him.
Unfortunately.
Where is he leading us?
Living down, Master Gamgee.
Oh, he heard you the entire time.
I'm listening, by the way. Yep, and then here the raining because they go into. I do know they go have a scene of them in a bog or a marsh, whatever you want to call it. Although, this is, oh boy, I think everybody knows this scene.
Not stopped all night.
What about breakfast?
You had one nice. What about steak and breakfast? Like I said, everybody knows it, but still.
Not second breakfast. What about Lindsay's?
luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, supper. You know it's about then.
And this part here. There you go. That one just pops him.
It's raining apples.
Just pops him right in the face. Yeah.
Oh, that looks awful.
And Bill the pony.
Artax! Not the
Oh,
sadness
God.
swamp. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's what I think of every time I see a horse being led through a swamp.
Yeah.
Artax!
And before anybody,
Don't let the sadness get you. Oh, it's like Oregon Trail. Look, he killed a deer. He carried 100 pounds of it back to the wagon. They don't have a wagon. The lot of meat to skin and carry. And they have no salt with them.
Yep.
You cannot
And
eat
here
that
he's singing the
whole
lay
deer.
of Baron and Luthien, which again I know. Although he's singing it in Elvish, and I don't know the Elvish, unfortunately. I just know the English. Luthien to Nubiel. And yes, as everybody knows, Luthien is my favorite character of all time, so... And I know James absolutely hates my guts for what we did that last March Madness.
He doesn't hate you. He hates me for...
He hates you for being the mage of the madness and that allowed me
Because I knew that was going to be your character, so I decided to throw a wrench into their plans.
And oh man.
Look, the March Madness every year, the lower 16 never make it past the first round anyway.
Yeah.
I decided to have some fun.
So I am actually going to try to actually win this time, though. So I'm not. So even though Luthien's my favorite character, I'm not including her in my list. I think
You can still include her in your list. It doesn't matter until.
I'm going to be
bracket.
keeping her out because I don't even want to risk her being in it at all. So I think I have Knuckles as my number one. I can't
That's
remember.
funny. I like that. It's good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially with the Sonic 2 movie coming out this year. Yeah, that's really good.
I've always loved Knuckles up. Yep. And then it's like, oh, what's going on?
No,
that would suck.
That is a terrible dungeon.
It's
like not even a dungeon. It's like
it's like, how are you gonna escape?
I'm gonna pee off the side of the roof. That's for sure. Fling my dung. Grab you when it lands on.
Look out below! Ha ha ha!
It'll kill you if it lands on you. It's a long fall. I'm just saying. The Ents are not going to be happy about this.
No doubt.
They're not. We find out in the second movie.
Yeah. Something that you'll see here is that if you watch the orcs, how they're moving now, they're very hunched over and they're hopping around a lot. They debated having all the orcs do that throughout the movies, but there's no way you could realistically get the stuntmen to do that and not destroy their backs at the end of the 2-year production. So later on, they give up and just let them stand straight up. Yep.
This was the great watchtower.
We should rest here tonight.
Poor Pivot just looks like he dies.
He hasn't eaten all day.
Yeah, he's only had breakfast once and an apple.
And an apple.
Yeah. And they get those swords from the Barrow Downs.
I was going to say, where the heck did these swords come from?
Like I said, they get them from the Barrow Downs in the book, but there's like I said, that would involve getting Tom Bombadil in. So it's a nice foreshortening of detail saying that Aragorn would carry them, because Aragorn is kind of a historian, so it would make sense that he would collect weapons like that.
Sure.
So.
Nice.
Ash on my tomatoes. And yeah. It should be said that the ringwaves actually see them, they see them get on the hill, so it's not the fire that alerts them to that, because they know they're there. They just wait for the sun to set for them to attack. Yeah, here. I do love this just coming directly out of the shadow. It's, like I said, straight out of a horror movie, and it sells so perfectly. Although how none of them heard the sword being drawn like that, I don't know. But
Because swords don't actually make a lot of noise when you draw it.
true.
That's it.
But they
that's
heard the boot.
literally, well, boots make noise, but like swords come out of like not metal scabbards most of the time. They don't actually.
Generally.
Yeah, but it's a Hollywood thing, and at this point, they keep doing it because audiences
They expect
respond
it.
poorly. Exactly, they expect it.
And it should be one thing I don't like is that in this, Frodo just kind of drops sword and falls backward. In the book, he actually he charges forward. He puts the ring on, but he's like he literally just takes swords like, all right, I'm gonna die, but he literally slashes at the Witch King. He doesn't.
The Witch King's like, do it.
Yeah. The Witch King can see the ring, and so like I said, Frodo is just a shadow to him right now, but he can see the ring. And then as soon as he puts the ring on, it's like, oh, hello. Yeah. And then here's directly, like I said, they're described as kings in white and pale kings with their sunken in eyes and everything, yeah. Speaks in black speech. Because I kind of wish they had actually have Frodo slash at him, because otherwise it's like, how did you miss? Because he's trying to stab Frodo in the heart,
right?
And he misses.
Gets him in the shoulder.
Yeah. But the reason he misses in the book is because, like I said, Frodo slashed at him, and had Frodo actually slashed him with that blade, it would have been just as devastating for the Witch King as the stab he gave to Frodo. Because that's a holy weapon that's designed to actually kill the Witch King. So it just lights them all on fire. Although a little bit of the fighting style is a little bit like just flailing around, unfortunately. So how'd your hair get all wet, dude?
Because he's a very sweaty, dirty
Yeah.
man. Also, it may have been raining earlier.
Yeah,
It's New Zealand.
Although this is my favorite part here. Right in the face. Yep.
Thank you.
He actually keeps the hilt when
Whoa.
he goes to. He keeps the hilt when he goes to Elrond, because it just like, this is the weapon he was stabbed with, if that helps. The blade dissolves into dust like that, but the hilt he keeps. What they actually did is they put Frodo on the pony, and then they took all the extra baggage themselves.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know why they have Aragorn carrying Frodo
It's more
around.
dramatic this way.
Yeah, fair enough. That's true.
Hey, Rupert. Good morning.
Did she sleep?
Yeah, she was sleeping on my lap. Now she's like awake and all confused. Like, what?
Here.
Metal clanking.
Yeah. I don't think this is actually. I think if you were to actually forge swords like what we see here, I think they'd actually be very brittle. But
Yeah.
I don't think this. Although I forgot the moth. Nice.
And he talks to it, doesn't he?
Yep. In the book, how Gandalf gets the eagle's attention, he makes a giant, because he doesn't have his staff with him, but he makes a giant flash of light, and that's how he gets Wahir's attention. Wahir is the Lord of Eagles. Yep. And this, he just catches the moth. Which you can catch moths like that. It's very difficult, but you can do it.
Especially when they're CGI, that's very easy then.
You can do it with real moths. I've done it with real moths where you can just catch them in your hand. Yeah, it has to be very cold, because then they're slower. They're not as fast as they are when the weather's hot, because they're cold-blooded, obviously.
That makes sense.
So, but yeah. Yeah, it's like, don't we see like them pouring metal into like a tray where all the sword forges go? I think this is what we see here. Yeah, like here. There's no way. I think that if they were to actually make swords that way, it'd be so brittle. Yeah. That's not how you make swords.
Yeah, you don't make swords until the final shape.
Yeah. And here, I don't know how else you would describe, how else you would show Sauron getting the Uruk-hai. Because in this, it kind of looks like the Uruk-hai were like prisoners underneath, and he's just setting them free.
Oh, I thought.
That's kind of almost the feeling I get from it. But in the book, they are literally being bred between orcs and men and stuff like that. So yeah, he's forcing men and women to sleep with orcs to breed the Uruk-hai.
All right then.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's how orcs came to be in the first place. They just became there were elves that were so corrupted, being forced to breed with, any sort of wildlife that Morgoth could come across. And yeah, here we see the trolls.
Man, he's got like weird. Oh, those are the stone trolls.
Mhm.
Oh, he even points it out. That's funny.
Yep.
Mr. Frodo, he's going cold.
Yep.
Is he going to die?
Probably.
Yep.
To the shadow. So we wait like them. Close. Sam.
In this, they don't actually go hunting for the Atlas Plant. He already has it on him, but because there was some on Weathertop that he took with him. And then here, Arwen actually doesn't. I can't even remember if Arwen actually has a line in the first book. I don't think she does.
No, she's definitely added. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, it's actually Glorfindel who finds them in the wild. And Glorfindel Glorfindel died and then came back. And yeah, Glorfindel is one of those characters who I'm like, God, I want to see a story about him because he deserves one.
And Liv Tyler, who they didn't want to cast because she has such a high-pitched voice. And she's like, but I can talk in the
Yeah, she knew the tongue, and that's kind of how she got the role. So, I know a lot of people don't like her. I think she's actually pretty good. What do you think?
I think she did pretty good.
Yeah.
I loved her in this movie.
I know a lot of people say that she's the worst actress of it, but I think she does great. I think she's fine.
She worked for this movie.
Mhm.
And I like her in, oh my God, that Records movie.
What?
Empire Records.
Oh. I was like, okay, what other movie was she in? She was in
Armageddon.
Armageddon, and that's the thing I look at. God,
Empire Records is a good one. You should watch it.
Okay, I'll have to look it up. But yeah, if we ever do Armageddon, I'm getting alcohol because I hate that movie so much.
We don't have to do that movie.
I appreciate that. The reason that in the actual book Glorfindel and Aragorn don't go with them. They just literally put Frodo on the horse, and the horse the horse is so damn good that it doesn't. I mean, it can keep Frodo on it, and then the horse takes off running.
Why didn't they tell you what that Elvish meant? Did he just say "I love you"? They just didn't want to.
I don't actually remember the translation, unfortunately, off the top of my head.
No, man.
What are you doing? Those lights are still out there.
But
She's taking him to safety.
Yeah,
It's him the Wraiths are after. Now we're fine. This is for the
in
best.
this, they make it look like there's like a long journey when they were actually almost at the river in the book when they came across. So, because one thing I'm gonna get to when we see the river is just where Glorfindel really shows his power. And we see I think we only see 8 Black Riders in these shots. I don't think we actually see all 9, but I never actually counted them out.
Why, is one of them gone already?
And no,
The one that took the flame to the face. What happened to him? He's not dead?
none of them. None of them died.
Oh,
But yeah, and that's actually a little thing of elves are supposed to be so in tune with nature. So an elf being scared enough to actually get cut like that just see her shine. Oh shit, she's freaked out. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's 9. Okay. For some reason, I thought there were only 8, but maybe that's just from me
Oh
misremembering.
my God, there's so much.
They put a lot of the
That's a lot of
snot
blood.
and stuff. Yeah.
Coming out of his eyes.
Yep.
Oh.
And then here where it says drag racing with horses almost, where they're just.
I feel like this was not this long in the theatrical version.
It was cut short a little bit. Oh yeah, here. Here it describes it makes it look like Arwen's creating the flood when it's not actually her, it's Elrond doing it. But in the book, I got want to wait for them to actually.
Ooh, Shield.
Yeah.
Come and play him.
Like I said, Arwen's not like Glorfindel would not be. Glorfindel comes up behind them. Only 3 of the horses come into the river and are washed away. The rest of them are sitting on the beach. So, and there are, like I said, there's 8 of them in the books, I know. And the other 5 of them, when Glorfindel comes up behind them, they absolutely flee in terror from Glorfindel and just literally jump into the water because they're so afraid of him. Which is just, that's how you know somebody's powerful, when you see a rushing wave like this, and your option is to die in the flood or die to him, and you choose the flood. And in the book, it's because in those it looks like almost fingers kind of reaching out and grabbing it.
Oh, I thought they were horses racing at the front of them.
Yeah, there's supposed to be horses with kings on top, but
that's what I always thought it was.
But yeah, to me it almost looks like fingers.
No, I always thought it was horses running them down like a stampede.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just because
the makeup for his sickness just isn't consistent. Sometimes it's gross and green, and now there's nothing on his face.
Continuity alert.
Like, come on.
Yep.
Oh no, guys! Frodo's not gonna make it.
Yep.
He's not gonna make it.
Yep. But yeah, in the book, they literally come up to Frodo, and after all this, Frodo's literally just on the ground, face first, just completely gone. He's passed out.
Montage of healing.
Yep. And again, oh gosh, I'm sorry. Like I said, every time I see Mr. Anderson, welcome back.
Yep. Hi, Mr. Smith, Agent Smith.
We have to do those movies sometimes, although I'm not a big fan of them. I think we do.
I don't even remember. I never look. The first one's great. The second one, I never remember what it's even called.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Revolution was the third one, right?
Yes.
What was the second one called? I have no idea.
It's an RE word, but
I know it's another RE word. Revisited? No, that was the new one that just came out. I forgot they made a 4th one.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the 4th one yet.
The Matrix Returns? Return to the Matrix? I'm just kidding. I know those are wrong.
Wasn't that the animated show that they made? I can't remember.
I was making fun of Return to Oz.
No, fair enough. Oh god, fair point.
I was delayed.
Oh gosh, I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, here's this. Oh fuck. I am so afraid of heights at this scene. Gosh, I could not do that. Although there was that one movie where it's about the guy who did the tight walk across the Twin Towers. Like, oh fuck you, I hate that movie. Because I saw that trailer in theaters and it literally got me so sick I literally had to throw up. And here we go, why here? Although, how does Saruman not realize that Gandalf isn't looking at him?
He thought he was just crazy.
And before anybody gets into the whole thing, why don't they take the Eagles to... Oh, wow, the CGI doesn't really hold it there.
No,
but before anybody goes into why don't they take the Eagles to Mordor, because number 1, the Eagles can't fly out of arrow shot. Number 2, the Eagles are not your slaves. They are their own race of beings. But
wouldn't they also want to destroy the power? I mean, like, because that's the thing that saves everybody.
Number 3, they don't really like humans.
He's not a human. He's a...
They like Gandalf, but they don't like humans. Because
they're Hobbitses. They come and save them at the end. You can't tell me they don't like them. Yeah.
There's also number 4 that the Eagles are they're just a step down from Gandalf in terms of power. And Gandalf is already so afraid he doesn't want to touch the ring because he doesn't want that influence. I don't think you want an eagle touching the ring either.
Now these are just excuses.
Yeah. And there's also, Sauron also has his own Air Force too. Although here we're going to be seeing your favorite part of the movie here coming up in about 5-10 minutes ish, maybe.
Yeah.
Although in the book they have a nice meeting with Gloin, and I kind of wish they had kept that. But I mean, granted, that's just me hoping they did. But
For anyone who can't figure out why Lois Lane never realized Clark Kent was Superman, the first 3 times I saw this movie in theaters, I couldn't tell the difference between Sean and Viggo Mortensen. Like the scene coming up where we see Sean Bean like picking up the thing, I thought that was Strider still. Like I didn't realize there was 2 different people until I was watching this at home, and like my sister and I like asked someone. My sister's like, yeah, that's a completely different actor.
Totally.
I'm really bad with faces.
It's all right.
Really bad.
In the book, he actually does go back, and then he returns to Rivendell. He goes all the way to the Lonely Mountain and everything, but then comes back. In this, they make it look like once you lose the ring, you start accelerating aging, when it actually you just start aging normally again. So,
yeah, I figured his age is just actually finally catching up to him.
So, Bywater Pool and Hobbit didn't know.
I spent all my childhood pretending I was off somewhere else.
Yeah, and here this is almost. I mean, he doesn't actually say this line for line, but it is very, very heavily implied. Frodo's always like, I want to go, but as soon as he goes on his own adventure, he's like, I want to go home.
He's like, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
I have regrets.
Yeah. Mistakes were made. Can I go home now?
This isn't what I want. Be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm. Rope.
I want to be prepared. Look, you wanted to see the old stuff. More than anything.
What was Sam doing while Frodo was out?
In the book he was like spending all of his time with Frodo until Gandalf said, "Go get some sleep."
That's fair.
So,
I can see that.
Although I should have pointed out that I kind of missed it, but when you see Sam burst into the room and Frodo, you see Sam take Frodo's hand, because in the book that's how they describe it happening. And Ian had to the actor of Gandalf, Ian McDermott. Oh my gosh, Ian McKellen. My gosh, I am losing it on names. He actually had to point out to them, he's like, no, you actually have to take his hand, because they're 2 straight guys, and in this modern age, that wouldn't. Guys don't do that really. So, and here, they're pointing out, it's like, that Frodo's so screwed.
Gandalf, the enemy is moving.
His hair is really weird.
In the east, his eye is fixed.
In the books, all the elves are described as having long hair.
No, that's not the long hair that's weird. It's his hairstyle. Like his hair seems to be like
where it's kind of like braided here and
it's not even it's like looped in of itself. Like I don't understand how it works.
I can't. I don't know. I've never actually read about the hairstyles of the elves, unfortunately. It could be like Katara's hair, where they just loop it out in front.
No, it's like one long string is somehow looped and like circled and then like looped back through. I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Where it kind of like loops around and makes
weird.
Maybe you just got tangled and you didn't notice. I seriously doubt that, but still. There we go, Sean Bean.
No, I legit thought that was Viggo Mortensen.
Boromir. There you go. Orlando Bloom.
He's so pretty.
In his first major role, because he was quite literally directly out of college, out of school. And in fact, the story he always tells is that when his agent called him and said, hey, you're being cast in Lord of the Rings, he had to call his agent back like 6 or 7 times, like, did you just call me and say that I'm in that guy? Because he just couldn't believe it, because he was a fan of the books too. In the books, Elrond is not so racist against men, I guess is the best way to say it.
Pride and dignity forgotten. Because of men, the ring survived. I was there.
3,000 years ago.
Oh, and we hadn't seen it yet. I was like, I thought he tries to throw it in and doesn't.
Yeah,
because they
this
waited
is
till
where,
now to show it.
We get the nice close up of the ring.
Such a pretty ring.
Yep. In the actual books, they never take him here because in this situation, it's almost like, hey, Elrond, you could just kill him and kick it in. But,
yeah, like why did you let him leave?
Yeah, but in the books, they never go up to because in this situation, it's like, yeah, just kill him, kick it in, and be like, oh yeah, there were some orcs there that ambushed us, and yeah, he died unfortunately, but the ring was destroyed. But in the books, they just like meet up out on the battlefield, and although Elrond and Círdan on the shipwright do say no, destroy the ring, Isildur keeps it as a keepsake. Just a little side note, I'm from South Dakota, she's from Texas, this is obviously Texas, so I'm a little bit warm. I feel a nice cold breeze. I don't know if it's from your AC or something, but
right there.
I'm just like, oh, this feels great. Like I said, I'm used to a lot colder temperatures than what we're getting here because it's like 80 degrees here, and that's hot for me.
It's really warm and humid out tonight. Yeah. It's gross.
Like I said, it was 40 degrees in Sioux Falls when I left.
84 degrees. This is November, guys. Why is it that warm? Look, tomorrow's 75 and sunny. It's gonna be gorgeous.
Nice. Gorgeous. Very cool.
When the first time I saw this movie, I legit thought that was still Strider.
Although this
so trust me, I was really confused during this scene. I'm just like, who is he talking to?
Yeah.
But now I clearly know. I can tell them all apart.
This is extended edition. In the original theatrical version, they don't have this conversation. He doesn't actually see Aragorn until he's.
I think it was when I watched it then, like the extended version with my sister. That's when because I could not tell them apart. It was really. Because this is in the normal version.
Yeah, this is where it starts in the original, where it just comes up to the shards of Narsil. Yeah, and here it's like, don't ever do that, by the way. And now here where he's like, I'm not actually alone here, am I? And then he's it's like, dude, you do not deserve to hold that sword. Almost,
he knows it.
I mean, in the book, he doesn't actually hold the sword or anything. He doesn't have this meeting with Aragorn. He doesn't appear. I mean, he just literally goes for the Council of Elrond.
This is like the cleanest Aragorn is.
Yeah, this is the cleanest he's ever appears in the movies
until he gets crowned.
Yeah.
This is the cleanest he's gonna be for a while, guys.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't think Arwen actually has any lines in the Fellowship of the Ring. I don't think she has any lines in the actual books.
No, they added all of it because I remember my friends who were fans of the books talking about it. Like this was all like the after, like it was in short stories or something. Mm-hmm. Like he pulled it from somewhere.
Yeah. Tolkien wrote a lot of stories of Aragorn and Arwen.
Yeah, because like this wasn't in the book, and like the little love scene later is not in the book either.
Yeah. No, but Arwen plays a part in the books, but yeah, she doesn't have, like I said, she doesn't actually have any speaking lines. But yeah, it does make sense why they kind of put all the attention on it.
I mean, yeah, when you're making a movie version of books, you've got to condense the character list every time. Like you just have to. You can't. Yeah. Audiences are dumb.
Mm. And this bit here, this was actually a fan picture from Beren and Luthien that it's like, hey, that works, and they literally made it be Aragorn and Arwen. A lot of what happens between them is actually just okay. Well, we don't actually have much in way of Arwen and Aragorn, but we have a lot of Beren and Luthien, and so we're gonna pull from that. Yep. And that's the thing of when Aragorn passes away, she actually dies too. I don't remember exactly what happens, but she goes into the woods and passes away herself. The same thing happens with Luthien too. And when they die, they actually they go to where men go, and that's a whole lore situation that I won't bother explaining here. If you have questions, feel free to message me, and I will answer them. But like I said, if I were explaining it here, we'd be here all night.
That pendant's really pretty. I knew a girl who had one because her boyfriend gave it to her. She was very elfish.
Yeah, my friend Liz.
She made some like Lord of the Ring inspired outfits for like Ren Fair.
Now my friend Liz, when her now husband proposed to her with that.
Yep.
So
you go with what you love.
Mm-hmm.
Strangers from
and here.
Friends.
Council of which I will say, if anybody ever tries to read through the books, I suggest just if you can't get through the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring, just skip to the Council of Elrond and continue on from there, because it is a slog to get through. Fully admit.
It is. I did not get into these books until the second book, The Two Towers.
And here's the thing, I know a lot of people who say that, so.
It was very slow going for me. I had like the giant, all the books combined in one with like the movies, like the movie picture poster cover. Which I'll probably still have somewhere. I doubt it, because James has better versions of the books.
In the actual book, what Frodo does is he actually holds it up for all to see, like that.
Frodo doesn't want to hold it anymore. He's glad to put it down.
And there, I do like this scene.
It's speaking to them all.
Yeah, I do like it's the ring just going temp to everybody there.
Frodo's like, thank God it's gone, and everybody else is like,
yeah. And now it's just trying to work on everybody there. Now we see other men there, and obviously there would be other men there, but I don't actually know who those guys are, because they're pretty much they're no name characters. They don't say anything in the book either. So, and then here, it's just a Gandalf chats. This is straight from the book too, where and Elrond. I love Elrond, like where he's just like, I know what you're doing. I can't get mad at you, but I don't approve. Like I said, just
You're welcome.
Yep. Like I said, he's like, I know what you're doing. I don't agree with it, but I can't exactly argue against it. So yeah.
Oh boy.
And this it is a gift. Is where the actual movie is where this whole scene starts. Frodo puts down the ring, and then he goes, it's a gift. He doesn't have that whole black speech montage.
I like Aragorn's face. Like, are you listening to yourself?
Yeah, have you? Yeah.
One ring answers to Sauron.
Although here's the thing: if you actually follow Boromir's character, he is kind of like he's had dreams of like he'd be the guy to become king of Gondor. That's what he's dreamed about his entire life, type of thing.
Boromir, you're such an idiot. How did you not realize?
Yeah.
You really thought he was a mere ranger just chilling on the council with the elves?
Yeah. That is kind of where it's like, yeah, you'd think you would know better, but and there,
chill, Legolas. Yeah. Thanks, Jesus. I did not need that.
Yeah, I don't need your backup. I got this my own.
Clearly, Gondor has no king. I'm the heir to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Although in the books, Aragorn at this point is like, no, I am going to become king.
Yeah. They know the time is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Only one choice.
One ring to rule them all.
Although this part here. Black speech. Gimli. This doesn't actually happen in the books, but I do love it.
I do appreciate what he's.
It's like, all right, well, we gotta destroy it. Let's just do it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give it to him. The dude tried.
Yeah.
It cannot be destroyed.
You could have led with that.
Yeah, you could have told us beforehand.
Let's destroy the ring, but wait, it's got to be done a specific way.
Yeah, before you go breaking your own axe, let's talk about this for a second here, buddy.
Back into the fiery chasm from whence it came.
Now, even in the book, they have a thing of like, okay, could a dragon's fire melt the One Ring? And even Ancalagon the Black, who was the largest and most powerful dragon, couldn't melt the One Ring if it tried. Granted, Ancalagon the Black was dead at this point.
One does not simply
Walk into Mordor. There's the memes. All the memes. Although I'm trying to figure out how the hell did that become a meme. So, because that became a meme when this movie came out.
Yeah, that's been a meme since before memes were a thing.
Yeah. So.
The young internet loved the Lord of the Rings, guys.
Yeah. If you how the internet was forged is freaking Lord of the Rings.
The ring must be destroyed. I suppose you think
you
want to do it. And if we fail, what then? What happens with
Give me this all.
The animosity between elves and dwarves.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And I could get into why they hate each other if you wanted, but again, we would be here all night. And then Gandalf's like, just why are you guys idiots? Although I think if you were to actually like look at the rings, like the reflections in the rings, wouldn't they be inverted? I think.
Yeah, because of how it's con.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't think it would be. If it was like.
You have a ring? That's
no,
not a shiny one. Okay.
One, yeah.
I don't know. Your physicist, answer that question for us.
No, like, because if it was concave like this, I think it would be upside down. But since it's the outside of the ring, I don't think it would be inverted.
And notice notice Elrond's sitting there like, and there's one other elf who's like, it's interesting, but then everybody else is yelling at each other.
I don't know what Gandalf expected to happen.
I don't either.
Like, he looks really upset that Frodo like opted to take it when both him and Aragorn and I'm sure Elrond all knew that was going to be what happened.
Although Bilbo is actually...
I mean, Elrond said he needs to be the one.
Yeah.
And again, it was one of those things where I guess Gandalf was hoping.
Yeah, he was hoping someone else, but...
But there's nobody else there who can do it.
Bilbo is actually in the Council of Elrond in the book. And Bilbo even suggests, like, hey, I know, I'm the one who found it. I'll be the one to destroy it. But everybody's like,
no.
We appreciate your offer, but you're 111. Your age is showing. You can't.
And my axe.
Yeah, and my axe.
Don't be outdone by the elves, Gimli.
Yep.
Chill, Legolas. Don't be mad because the dwarves are joining in.
Yep. Yep. And then here, Sam.
Elrond's like, what? Where did you come from?
Yeah. It's like, hey, by the way, although this part here, Merry and Pippin were not actually there too, but it is a good
It's just easier to explain it this way then.
Because the reason they were chosen is because there are 9 ring wraiths, so it's like, okay, we need 9 companions. And Elrond was originally thinking, well, we'll send 2 elves, but Merry and Pippin were like, no, we're going to. So it's like, okay. Also should be mentioned, John Rhys Davies is actually the tallest of all of the Fellowship of the Ring.
Which is why it worked so well that he was a dwarf, because they didn't need like a double body.
Yeah, they he's just on his knees. He just
stood behind them and like shrank them all down together.
Yeah.
Like he is that much taller than like the other 4 in real life. Like that gap is.
Yeah. No, he's tall. He's the tallest of the.
Right.
Yeah. So now we're finished. We now got to switch up this too.
We have to switch.
So. Oh dear. Okay, I'll knock that over.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some more water.
Yeah,
take a quick break.
Yeah. Anybody watching, feel free to take a bathroom break or whatever.
Break time. Make sure my cats are alive. I know they're alive.
Yeah. There it is. I sure hope it doesn't play automatically. I don't think it will. I wouldn't think it does, but it might. Oh, I'm gonna. No, down. I'll pet you, but you can't jump up here. I don't think it does, but I want to just keep.
What happened?
I don't know if the movie will automatically start playing. I wouldn't think it does, but I'm a little bit worried that it might just automatically start playing.
No.
Stay down.
Wolfie, behave.
She likes the attention.
I mean, yeah, but
The Blu-ray still loading. Bear with us. Like I said, I don't think it would just jump right in, but well, come on. Okay, good. It's all right. It has the whole continue filming and everything. All right. I turned the subtitles on for you too. So, what?
alrighty, let's do this. Continue thing. Let's go.
And I don't think we have to go through any more. I didn't think so. So,
All right, guys. Second half of the
like
film.
I said, I turned on the subtitles on you for already.
Oh, that's
And
good.
here we see actual Legolas and actual, not the whole linens that he was wearing. Granted, everybody was wearing linens there.
They were all in fancy
Yeah.
dress.
And here,
Is Legolas cleaning off the statue?
No.
Oh no, Aragorn's cleaning off the
Aragorn's cleaning
statue.
off. Yeah, cleaning off. I think this is Arwen's mother statue. I think.
It looks
I
like
remember.
Mary.
You know,
like a
that's
statue.
the yeah. She wanted to protect her child. Oh, it's his mother. Okay. Although all Aragorn's ancestors grew up in Rivendell, or in Ladris is the elven name for it, if you care. But so it wasn't just that his mother decided to no. And here, like I said, in this they have the whole of Aragorn's like, do I want to become king? Do I not want to become king? In the actual book, he's like, at this point, he's like, no, I'm becoming king. He knows from when you first see him. And here, Sting! I do love this sword. I want one of these so bad, but they are expensive.
It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it glows in the presence of orcs.
Yeah.
I like things that glow in the dark. Sting definitely does that.
We need to get you a tiara that glows in the dark.
Oh my god.
Oh,
My shirt glows in the dark.
it does? Cool.
Oh, look at that cool chainmail. Meeting leftover
Mithril.
Halloween candy.
Mithril.
Mithril.
Although here, this is a... Yeah.
Oh, we get the spooky face.
Yeah.
Spooky
Although
face!
this is one thing where I think they spent a little too much money
Nah.
on the... No, because what happens
My
is...
old ring.
Yeah, no, because they do all CGI up to a point. They literally made a statue of, like, of the spooky...
Of the creepy face?
Yeah. And it's only in frame for like 2 seconds, not even. And then it just cuts back. But yeah, that is straight from the book where he's like, he sees the ring, he's like, he does kind of grab for it. And then here where he's like, I'm sorry. It's not just I'm sorry, it's I'm sorry you have it, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Bilbo even knows now that this is probably gonna kill you, dude. And he doesn't like that.
Damn it, Bilbo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't help it. The ring shows you. The ring was tired of Gollum because it knew it was never going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's
Gollum's
really
never going to leave this cave. I got to find some new meat.
That's why it abandoned Gollum. Because
The quest of Mount Doom.
Mhm.
No oath nor bond is laid to go further than you will.
although this is the first real where you think Boromir was a bad choice, because here's the thing, this is supposed to be a quest of secrecy. We don't want Sauron to know what we're doing. So what does Boromir do? He blows his horn to announce that he's leaving.
He's blowing the horn of Gondor.
Yeah.
Maybe he does it every time he leaves someplace.
Yeah, whenever he leaves somewhere on a journey, he blows the horn. But it is kind of like, okay, this is supposed to be a secret quest. What are you doing announcing our departure, dude?
As far as anybody else knows, he's just announcing he's leaving Rivendell and going back to Gondor.
Although I do love this part here of like, which way do I go?
That
Yep. Wouldn't you think that Gandalf would lead the way? Because,
Nah.
like I said, he knows where he's going.
Nah.
And again, Bill the Pony going with. And pretty much all the elves they just went through New Zealand and found any very attractive person they could find, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be an elf?" That's pretty much what the story is. They just go to coffee shops and look for anybody who is attractive in any way, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?"
I feel like it's what they.
Yeah.
You're tall and your features are symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be in a movie?
Yeah. Here we go. Here's our first real hearing of the theme of the Fellowship of the Ring, which is something else we should mention. Is there are so many musical themes in these movies, and they're all distinct, and it's so cool.
I mean, this is very grand because they're finally starting their journey.
Although
halfway
this part
into the movie,
this part here, it's like, okay,
that is dramatic. It's fun.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, okay, we're just gonna have a scene of all 9 of them rocking by some rocks. You don't need to make it that epic. Howard Shore, hold my beer. It makes the most epic scene in the movie.
Well, again, it's like the first time. This movie's called The Fellowship of the Ring. This is the start of a very grand quest. It's actually very fitting. Like the song is amping you up. Yeah, stuff's finally gonna happen.
Trumpet, nice.
Oh my god! I waited half the movie for Legolas.
Now he's in it.
And now I have some great music to go with it.
I do love this scene of you see Boromir training Perry how to fight with swords. And it's actually Gimli actually doesn't want to go to the Mines of Moria because Gimli knows. Because here's the thing, they haven't had any word of anybody in Moria for a while, so they know something happened. They don't know what. But they know something's not right, so they're very worried about going through Moria.
This is the opposite. He's trying to convince them.
He's trying to be like.
Look at him hopping all over the place.
Well, wait till we actually see them in the snow. You'll see everybody else like trudging through the snow, and he's walking on top of it.
I know that because they have they're light feet. Mm-hmm. Them and hobbits, they don't leave tracks behind.
Yep. Oh, the hobbits can't walk through snow, but yeah. And then this part here. Talk about
Oh my
ow!
God. Dude, that's hard.
Yeah, that will hurt your back so bad. That's against the wind. Yeah. That's no cloud. Yep.
That's no moon.
Yep. Although here, if you can see the birds, they can see you. Birds got very good eyesight.
Not if they're evil birds.
Even if they're evil birds. Although I'm actually very curious. Okay, what are an evil bird? Can we measure its number one? How do you measure how evil a bird is? Number two, how do you measure its eyesight? Okay, I got a bald eagle here and scratched a child. We're gonna.
It totally knows you're there, guys.
Yep.
It's gonna go report back. That's why it didn't continue to fly farther south or wherever.
Yep.
It stopped.
They turned around. Yeah, they realize now.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Although this here is just. Yeah, hey, look, it's my hometown. Gosh, not that mountainy, obviously, but yeah, that much snow. Oh man, all the time. Although it does need to be mentioned. Sean Bean is like afraid of helicopters, so when they're shooting these shots,
that was the story I was trying to remember.
Yeah. So yeah, he did ride in the helicopter once on the first day of shooting, but he was riding with the actors for Merry and Pippin, who were just deciding to be complete dicks about it, and were just like, "Oh my god!" They were just every little bump and they were like, "Oh god, we're crashing!" And just zombies like, "No, fuck this." So every other day, he would hike. He would take a jeep to like the base of the mountain and hike up the rest. And also, when we saw the ring laying in the snow, to get the ring to actually appear that big, that they had to do was make a ring that was like huge.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it just wouldn't sell.
Like when I get it close enough to look.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he just ruffles his hair like a dog. That's what I do to my dogs, guys.
That's what I do with my niece and nephew. So, and there's that scene of like, I'm ready to fuck you up if I need to. I hope I don't, but. But I mean, it should be said, Boromir at this time. I mean, Boromir's obviously being tempted at this time, but he doesn't. But even then, he wouldn't. He's not fallen to it yet. Boromir is one of my favorite characters because he resists the power of the ring for so long until he actually succumbs to it. And here, this bird here, yeah, he's like Gandalf trudge, like uses the staff to trudge the snow, and look, Legolas is walking on top, no big deal. He's like, what's wrong with you guys?
Somehow it is that since elves are so light-footed, they can just walk on top of the snow.
Yeah. And you'll see Boromir and Viggo Mortensen carrying two of the hobbits. Obviously, just the body doubles.
Yeah.
Which they had. I know of a couple. I can't remember if they hired any children to play the body doubles. I don't think they did. But no doubt. Here. In the actual books, it's not Sauron. It's literally just the mountain is like, no. Because the mountain has a will of its own.
Oh.
So Sauron has nothing to do with it. It's literally the mountain being like, no, you don't cross.
I was gonna say it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, where they make it look like the witch sends the poppies, but in the book, the poppy field was there anyway.
Yeah.
She had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's just like I said, the mountain has a will of its own. So no, you don't. Well, here. Avalanche. Get as close. Yeah. I don't know how you survive an avalanche situation. I think it's just get as close as you can to the mountainside and pray to God you don't get swept along with it.
That's pretty sure that's how that goes. Yeah.
I've never been in an avalanche. I don't want to.
No. I've read books about people who've been in avalanches. That was
it just reminds there was once I was skiing with my buddy Travis and he wiped out. I remember I was in front of him. I hear him yell and I look back. I just see this poof of snow. That's the only way I describe it. And then every time I think of avalanches, I think of that just because I just look back and it's just like I said, I don't see him in any way. I just see this poof of snow. Look at his beard.
All their beards.
Yeah. Although obviously that's not real snow. That's like fake snow. Because obviously they couldn't do this in like the negative whatever degree heat and have them be comfortable in any way. Because especially what Legolas is wearing, he's not wearing heavy clothing at all. Yeah. Durin's Bane. And this is actually from the book where it's like
Frodo's like, what? I don't know.
Yeah, where it's like
and everybody else.
Yeah. Although another reason I do like Boromir so much is when they try to get back down because the mountain's trying to pin them in it. The mountain like snows in behind them. So what does Boromir do? Just without a shovel or anything, just goes and literally just digs a tunnel with his hands. It's like, okay. Yeah, you're not an old man. You're actually an angel, but. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then just, who happens to walk by at that moment? And this is obviously extended version, and because this was not in the actual release. Yes. And here. Yep, and they. Yeah. Why wasn't that? Yeah, I'm just like, gosh, they hate each other.
Is there something in the lake?
Yes.
Oh, of course there is.
The Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
It's never actually explicitly said what it is, but it's kind of implied that's one of what's called the nameless things that gnaw at the earth. And here, Da 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 da. I have a flask with that design, and I love it so much.
Reach, doors of duty, Lord of Moria. Speaking friend, and enter.
Yeah.
You suppose that?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you want a friend, you speak the password. Pause for a...
Yeah.
I would just speak Elvish. It's a dwarf door.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the elves. That door was made back when the elves and dwarves were actually on good speaking terms with each other,
Okay.
and that's how the elves would get in. So yeah, I do. It's like it's described that because well, thank you. And the reason, because Gandalf has been through Moria, obviously. The reason he doesn't know the password is because he came through the other way, and the reason he got out was because you can just push the doors open if you're coming from the other way. But he doesn't know the password to get in.
Knock your head against me, and if that does not settle, then I am allowed a little peaceful, foolish question.
Not. Yeah. It is actually Mary who
Movie.
Mary's the one who figures it out, not Frodo in this. But yeah, it's described that Gandalf is like tries all these words for like hours. It's like he's been trying for hours, and then at one point he just gets so pissed off he literally just starts whacking at the door with it. And yeah, bye Bill.
Bye, Bill.
Although this part gets me. It's like
Wolfie.
this part gets me. Don't worry, Sam. He knows the way home. You've traveled like 500 miles. How does he know how to get back home? Don't get me wrong. I know animals are good with directions, but like I said, 500 miles, I think you might have a little bit more problems than that.
Wolfie, can you walk 500 miles and find your way back home? No, I don't think you can.
And if Becky's
I can
watching, I know what song she's
somebody-
going to start singing.
Everybody's gonna start singing it. Yep. Yep. No. You would walk up to the first person you saw and say, "Love me. I'm such a great dog. Take me with you."
How old is she?
She is 2.
She's still a puppy.
Yes, you're 2.
Yeah.
2.5.
Like I said, it's actually Mary that figures it. Oh,
Oh, I missed it. He just said friend.
yeah. No, Frodo goes. It's a riddle. Speak, friend, and enter. In the book, and Mary's the one who figures out that it's a riddle and gives Gandalf and tells Gandalf. But here, how does run out of battery? Bear with us, people.
No, we're fine. It's just the dogs unplugged the cord.
Okay.
See?
There we go. Okay.
I didn't realize the dogs did that because you're playing so rough.
So yeah, he knows. He's still talking about how they're going to be greeted, and there's corpses all around him. How has he not noticed?
On the stairwell.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, like they're right at his feet. Yeah. But like I said, in the books, Gimli knows that this is
Orcs.
goblins,
Oh,
actually.
even better.
Well, goblins and orcs are pretty much the goblin and orc is used pretty much interchangeably. So I mean, they're pretty much the same thing. There's no difference between orcs and goblins. There is a difference between Uruk-hai and
no, and this is
orcs.
what they don't actually
Yeah,
go back.
here you go. You're worried about what's in the water?
Yeah, I knew something came out eventually.
Yeah, the Watcher.
Oh, they still calling him Strider? When does that stop? Soon, right? There we go.
Yeah. And then, hello.
Whoa!
Yeah. Pretty much right from the book how. Ow. Yeah, notice Vigo and Sean Bean are two that rush in. Hello. Yeah, CGI is a
what
little.
is that? I don't remember.
Yeah, the CGI doesn't really.
It's a freaking like Starlock pit in the
Yeah.
water.
Pretty fun.
Kind of looks like the face of like Predator.
Yeah,
almost.
there Boromir catches Frodo. It's like in the mines now. There.
It's like, yep, all
Shoots
right,
it right
change
in the
your mind.
face.
Just get in the cave.
And here it's just literally.
Pippin, this was your fault. Why did you wake the water? Why did you disturb it? Yeah, there goes
Actually,
that
Mary's the
doorway.
one that throws the stone.
I don't know.
But in the books though, they don't throw rocks in the water. It just they know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So many Captain Obviouses in
Yeah.
this movie.
That is one of the things about the book. Is like, yeah, they do kind of. Thank you. We all know this. It's like 2 + 2 is 4. Thank you, we know, but it's good that you clarify that for us. Obviously, that's just an example. They don't actually say that line. And here you see them, they both have their swords on, like, yeah, something's up. And Gandalf's like, okay, please, God, let's be able to slip through and go unnoticed.
Nah. There were orcs and Balrogs and
One
flying
Balrog.
involved.
Oh, there's a question of how many Balrogs are there in Middle-earth. If you listen to Tolkien at the original, he thought thousands, but in later writings he said probably only like 3 to 7, somewhere in there. Although I think we get a scene here where he showcases Mithril. I hope we get it. I'm pretty sure that is.
Yeah, because they find orcs and fight them, or goblins or something, right?
No,
Yeah.
but before then, there's a scene where he points out what Mithril is. Yeah, here we go. This is it.
The wealth of Mordor was
Yeah, the wealth there is not in gold.
for Jews.
This is the only place on Middle Earth you can find Mithril. And I love this. You just look down there; it's just glowing. Just the shines, like, oh man, that's so cool. How much Mithril is there? All of it. And it's like Pippin hasn't stopped Merry from going too far over. Yeah. And he's like, I'm wearing that shirt now. Yep. Yeah.
And
like,
Frodo's like,
and he's
wait,
like,
what? Come again?
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, dang, I could just sell this shirt and retire. I could retire, my family could retire, and then my kids' could retire. But I mean, granted, that's in the books. That's why he leaves Bag End to a place called Crick Hollow, and that's kind of the story. He's like, I'm just moving away to retire now. Because that's the story he tells everybody. But that's, like I said, it's the minor brand point. Yep.
Did the tunnels change, or did he just forget?
He wasn't through this part. There are multiple passageways through, and he didn't visit this one. So here's where we get one of our scenes of Gollum.
Yeah.
In the actual book, he doesn't actually see Gollum. He just hears the footprint, like Gollum walking behind them.
How did Gollum sneak in behind them?
That part is kind of confused me too, because it's never explicitly said because he's been following them from Rivendell. So it's like, how did he get in after the cave in? So granted, he did spend a lot of times in the Misty Mountains. It is very possible he knew of a pathway to get from the outside into it. So, but yeah, you can see they were like trying to make him look more monstrous in this than what they started doing in later movies. Yeah. And like I said, in later movies, they just went full on Andy Serkis face, boom. But I
think because they made a whole thing about it on MTV. Like, this was the first time that we were getting full CGI characters. Mm-hmm. Well, it was him and Dobby
and Yoda.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember I told you about the visual effects bake-off where they had they were like, these are our first big scenes, and they were like, so they had an award of which is the best, and they had, so on the best screen in the world, you got to see Gollum, Dobby, and Yoda.
Yeah, so it was next movies. Yeah, mm-hmm. It was the first time that you have fully CGI characters interacting with them, and
and they all looked amazing
at the time. Yeah. I mean, because you had the motion suits that Andy Serkis was wearing, like that was the first movie that did that shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and if anybody, one thing we should mention is how, because we've been even here, we've mentioned how the CGI has kind of aged. And you've had full on almost rage fits about how CGI nowadays looks really crappy as compared to what it did back in those days. The big part of why that is because back in these days when they're making all the CGI, they're having to render all the models and everything. They're having to make everything from scratch. So literally 90% of the work in that would be literally making the thing work and not like having it intersect itself or whatever. And then literally the last 10% of it would be, making it look real.
Yeah.
But nowadays, because we have so many pre-rendered models and everything, it's vice versa now, where it's 10% getting the actual skeleton to move right, and then 90% of it is making it work. And now because of that, they just don't put the time and effort into it like they used to.
It's also like a money thing, right? Like if you put the money into CGI these days, you can still get pretty decent results.
Yeah.
But like like you said, like it's so readily available, you can get cheap CGI.
And it still looks semi-decent. And
Yeah.
they just say, oh, good enough.
Yeah.
So.
It's cheaper than practical effects, and like you said, it's good enough.
Yep. Which is unfortunate.
But yeah, movies with decent budgets can still get pretty good looking CGI. I mean, Tarkin in Rogue One was creepy as like all get out, but
yeah,
it's actually, considering what they were doing, it's
it was
pretty
groundbreaking.
good.
Groundbreaking technology. I mean, here's the. I will say it
Look
worked.
at all those columns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just impressive. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just, we already went outside.
That is one thing. That is one thing about Tarkin. Is like
no, not you too.
What are both of you? No, that is one thing. Like Tarkin, I think looks fine when he doesn't speak. The problem is he talks, and the same thing with Leia and that, unfortunately too.
She doesn't have many lines though. That's why hers wasn't actually that bad.
What I kind of wish they had there, because I mean, yeah, they have all the towers and everything. I kind of wish they had shown like dwarven dwellings almost. But then again, I'm not really sure how you would sell that. So it is I do kind of understand.
Yeah, because it's like you said. Yeah, because like the mines is where they worked, and they clearly lived down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like where were they living?
Yeah, like that's the where they just were is the city that they were living in, but you don't actually see
just columns. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like it looked like a grain. The thoroughfare that like led to other places.
Yeah, it looked like exactly like that hallway that we see Anakin and Padme have their whole "I'm pregnant" speech in.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like I do kind of wish.
Again, it's just a hallway. It's not like you're not gonna live there. It's all open space, but you'll definitely like everyone walks through it to get to where they're going.
I mean, what you could argue is, I guess, is that the orcs tore it all down, but I still do feel like they should have. Like they should maybe doorways in between the pillars or something that looks like these were houses. Will you stop?
Wolfwood. Like, did they actually have buildings? I would have thought they would have just built into the underground. How do you tear down something that's part of the structure around you?
And what I guess what I was thinking is more of like maybe they bought wood in and then like stacked the wood on top.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
But I think that's what they're trying to. I haven't, like I said, I haven't watched.
Sorry, the ending.
The signature, yeah.
It reminds me of the rabbit scene in Monty Python, where it's just like,
And then here, oh no, Pippin, why? In the book, Pippin just tosses a stone down a well. He doesn't actually mess with the skeleton that's just precariously placed there. I'll pet you, but you can't jump up.
Wolfie, I can't believe you're being this needy. I'm sorry, puppy.
It's just, oh gosh, it's just Pippa's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Why do I have to touch everything? And literally Mary asked that question. It's like everybody's like, okay, please, God, nothing. Keep it nothing, please, nothing.
No, there's always a delay, especially in this movie.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: if you
when you think everything is fine and that you were wrong, something you get proven wrong.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then now. Drum beating, and then everybody just looks back at the hole.
Where is it even coming from?
They just hear it echoing through the halls.
I know.
But it is one of those things of like, it's going to take them some time to actually be able to respond because they're not going to be in their suit of armor at all time. They're going to hear that sound and be like, okay, something happened. Put your armor on.
What is the range on Sting? Like that thing is glowing.
Yeah, that's something that's never actually said. Is how like, and then here,
back. Oh, Boromir, not yet.
Yeah.
You just read how this ends. Now you're trapped.
Yeah, here.
Where to go?
They have a cave troll.
Oh, you know who else has cave trolls? Harry Potter.
Yeah. And he just tosses his hat down. Everybody draw your sword.
Yeah, I guess
That
Elijah
drawer is
Wood
so
and
rotted.
Daniel Radcliffe aren't that far apart in age. They're like 7 years apart then. He was like
Oh.
11 or 12. Daniel Radcliffe was 11 or 12 when he did Harry Potter,
Okay.
and then what's his face? He's only like 18 or 19 years.
Elijah Wood, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they would be about the same age.
I don't know why I thought
Oh,
Elijah
here.
was-
It's like there's a tiny little hole big enough for me.
I mean, he's a master archer.
Yeah, he can get one in there too.
Not to be
Yeah, but
outside.
granted, those doors were so rotten, I'm pretty sure they could have gotten in a lot easier than this.
Yeah,
Ouch, right in the eyeball.
right in the eye. Yeah, not everyone could be like Superman and have it bounce off.
Yeah, I do love how it's just you see one bouncing off his shield, but yeah,
They're lucky none of them die during all this fighting.
yeah, no doubt. With how many of them there are, it's like, geez, how do you not get overwhelmed by sheer numbers? I do love this. It's like I'm roaring at you, that just gets head cut off. Then here, hi.
Man, that even looks like the troll from Harry Potter.
What this movie and the first Harry Potter movie came out the same year.
Came out the
didn't
same year.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
they? Yeah, there. It's like I'm gonna step on you, no, when they're pulling it back with the chains. Doc. Oh, this part here. Let go of the chain, you idiot.
Yeah,
Ow. That would hurt.
that definitely. I mean, he's.
Ow.
How's he not knocked out? Jesus.
Yeah. Ah. He chucks the knife.
The
Oh,
sword.
it chucked his whole sword after, yeah. Yeah.
Nice strike him.
You destroyed Bollins too, you jackass.
Where's Sam?
I try and yeah, that is one thing.
I like how they're yeah, I was gonna say they showed Legolas in the background fighting
Yeah.
and then just shows him like close up as he shoots some arrows.
Yeah. Oh, this part here.
He has the high ground.
She- Yep, here. No, I definitely have the high ground. I'm on your head. Just 2 arrows right into the freaking forehead. Ow. Oh, and
Great CGI there.
and then Sam is just defined as using his frying pan to whack orcs.
Frying pans, who knew?
Yeah. Although it reminds me of Smash Bros. You got Princess Peach who also pulls out frying pans.
Does she?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Tangled.
Ah. And Frodo has to
Yeah.
trying to hide. In the actual book, they don't actually. They have a cave troll, but it's not cave troll that stabs Frodo. It's just an orc chieftain. But
Man, Frodo gets stabbed a lot, doesn't
yes,
he?
he does. Hello.
It's like a motherfucking pincushion.
Yep.
How did his friends not warn him it was coming?
Yeah, that's kind of creepy because you see Mary Pepper. They would be able to see it here, and you're just like, slash, do something. Yeah. Slaps at his hand.
Well, at least you did something useful.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Ouch. Right in the ribs. They're chucking rocks at it too.
Sure. I mean, it will like do something, right?
Yeah, I don't know if throwing rocks at
Distract
that thing would work. I mean, throwing it at like an orc would probably. Oh, here it's like you're lucky that didn't stab him in the face. And here, ow!
How did that not kill him? Oh,
The mithril,
The
that's- yeah.
mithril. Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
face, though.
Oh yeah, is
I mean, it's like being shot with
Although here-
Kevlar, right? Like
yeah.
you still feel that.
Yeah.
That's still gonna leave a bruise, guys.
yeah. In the he's actually wearing like a leather coat underneath it too, and he got hit so hard that the rings literally penetrated past the leather and still hit his skin, but yeah, it's like how did that
Oh
not
my
break
god,
your ribs
those
as
faces
is?
are just great.
Ow. Here's the thing, even though you're wearing a mithril suit, I'm still pretty sure that the force would break your
Again,
ribs.
yeah, you still feel that
Yeah.
force of the impact. It hurt. I would assume it would hurt.
I've never been shot,
I
but
haven't either.
no, but and I should mention that here they have made all these noises here where he finally dies. They kind of try to get this feeling of they're trying to almost make you feel sad for it because this troll the troll's not evil by choice. It's really been
Enslaved,
forced to be
yeah.
evil. So But yeah, for this, if you actually watch the behind the scenes before they added the special effects of the troll, it's literally just a guy with a tennis ball on a stick, and they're all just kind of swinging at it. I was like, okay, this is where you're looking at. Hit that.
Everyone's like, how the fuck are you
Yeah.
alive?
Yeah. Yeah, that was. They don't actually find out.
Just like a transformer.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually don't find out about
Yeah,
them.
remember that mithril thing you were talking about Bilbo having? He gave it to me.
Yeah. In the book, he doesn't actually show them the mithril until they're well outside the caves. But yeah, here.
Yay!
And I do like the nice one shot of you see one beam of sunlight going to the tomb, but and just here it's like, oh shit.
Oh my god, where did they all
They're
come
everywhere.
from? So many more trolls.
Yeah, they're just
and
calling out at a little.
They're
cracks.
popping out of the ground like daisies.
Yep.
Jeez.
Well, just wait. It gets worse. Wait till they show the roof.
Ugh. You're not gonna make
See,
that.
they show up and look at that.
Oh my god, it's like ants.
Yep. Everywhere. But granted, when you're an evil monster, what else are you gonna do with your time except for greed?
I guess. You need that army. How else are you gonna take over the world?
Like I said, you see all of them. You see how they're like crouched over, bouncing around a lot. They're very crouched. And like I said, they couldn't keep the actors doing that the entire time. So it's like, okay, because you just break your back after so long.
Well, that's good timing in a very bad way.
Yep. It's like, this is good for us and also very bad for us.
Yep.
Because Gimli's actually would be the most afraid. And everybody's like, something's up.
It's a good question.
Yep.
We should probably be running.
Yeah, at this point you think just run. Regardless of what it is. If the orcs are afraid of it, we should probably get the hell out of here.
And for like the 50th time in this movie, you see Gandalf's face of, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Why am I always wrong?
And then there's this
I was right, I guess.
Yeah. I do like that scene of Orlando Bloom just trying to do pure terror.
I mean, I love Orlando. He's like the greatest actor. But he's pretty.
He's a very pretty man.
I do love him in Pirates. He's good in that one.
It's probably one of the best things in Pirates. Oh, dears.
That sucks.
Yeah, okay, save his ass. Thank you.
Beat the wall, Aragorn. Bridge is near.
I'm not sure that's near, but okay.
Yeah, well, it's a 4-day cross, and now they go within sight of it. Yeah. And I do like, you see, like, us just jumps down, like. And then also, there isn't this part in the book where they have to, like, navigate the crumbling stairs.
Yeah, this is just more fun.
Yeah.
Also, I see the Lord of the Rings follow OSHA safety regulations just as well as Star Wars does.
Yeah.
Where are the handrails on this staircase?
Why they don't? I can tell you why they don't have handrails on the bridge, but as for the staircase, I can't tell you yet. Yeah, and then it's like, the orcs got terrible aim, but they can't hit anybody. But Legolas, he can full on right through between the eyes.
So orcs versus stormtroopers. Who's gonna?
Probably stormtroopers because I think their armor would be able to just. Oh, well, I take that back because they got fucked up by Ewoks. That's a good question, actually.
That's a good. Yeah.
I would have to say the orcs because here's the thing: the orcs are just. They're getting close. It's just they're so far away that it's like trying to make that arrow shot. Not the bird.
Well, do you want to die?
Yeah. I had to say that the orcs because they at least, like I said, they're at least getting close. It's just the shot is such a long shot that they can't actually.
Why
hit
did you save the most important Hobbit? For
Yeah,
last?
yeah. Why wouldn't you chuck his ass first? It's like, yeah, here, yeah. What Aragorn's probably do is probably just chuck Frodo, because he could easily do that, and then what Aragorn would do, I'm not exactly sure. This will work too. Like,
Oh yeah, how convenient! It's gonna now break.
Yeah. I don't
just
think
the way you need
that
it
would
to.
actually happen, but hey, why
Oh my
not?
god, the chances of it falling just the way you need it to would be pretty.
Well, I mean that is a thing. It's called the Ewe catastrophe, where it's like something very, very bad happens to the villains, and it's very, very good for the heroes. And this is one of those things of it's very good for us, but dear God, this would be so. Oh gosh, I would hate this so much. Like I said, I'm afraid of heights, so.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And here, this is the last time you actually hear the Fellowship theme, because this is the last time the Fellowship is seen together.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, yeah, this is the last time you actually hear this
Very
music.
disappointing.
Yeah. Because, yeah, like I said, this is the last time the entire Fellowship's together. And one little lore thing I want to say is that Gandalf is what's called a Mire. He's basically an angel. The Balrog is also a Mire, an evil Mire, though. So it's very possible Gandalf and this Balrog actually know each other.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah, because what the Mire are basically angels that were created before the Earth was created. So, but yeah. And the reason they don't have handrails on the bridge is it's a defensive mechanism. So if the dwarves got invaded, it's like, okay, you can only fight us one at a time. So,
I mean, that's fair.
yeah. But like I said, as for the stairwell, I can't talk about the stairwell. But as for that bridge, that's why there's. Also, you see here that the Balrog has wings. In the books, it's described as having wings of darkness, but the way Tolkien describes it is they're not real wings. It's just it's kind of how it looks, I guess the best way to say it. So Balrogs actually don't have wings. Because here's the thing, if it did have wings, why wouldn't it just fly over the bridge?
Maybe they're useless, the wings, like penguin wings.
Maybe like dodo wings.
Yeah.
What's the actual scientific? Vestigial. No. Yes. No.
Emu wings?
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, vestigial, yeah.
I think that's the term.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And in the books, it's described that he takes. Yeah. And again, so many memes. And in the book, his staff literally breaks into pieces when he smites the bridge like that. Although here, where it's like here, I think it's like Gandalf. I think you should probably start walking back now. Yeah, it might be a good idea to start. Yeah, it's like you can go now, but no. But granted,
no, Gandalf.
Yeah.
Fly, you fools.
Yeah. In the book, he actually doesn't even he tries to grab the bridge, but he doesn't. He literally does, and he does. There's no. In this, he makes the choice to let go. In the book, he doesn't. He doesn't grab the bridge. He just goes.
Whee!
Yeah, and then just watch into the darkness. Oh gosh. And hear this song, which has been co-opted by every studio ever. Because didn't they use the same music for the Man of Steel trailer? I think they did.
I have no idea.
Here's the one problem where it's like, okay, now they're come on, this is a much short shot. Although he does duck one arrow here, it's like duck that one. I guess the orcs just really suck at archery and only. Well, granted, elves are described as having insane good eyesight. So
everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're light on their feet. They have good eyesight.
Well, and granted, Legolas is 3,000 years old. So when you have 3,000 years old, or 3,000 years of practice with the bow, yeah, and they're in the books they don't even take a moment. It's like they literally just know. It's like no, we got to keep going. And there, you see Legolas is like, what's going? Because he's never experienced death before. He doesn't understand what he's feeling. So,
Legolas, get him out.
You got a little bruise on your forehead there, buddy.
Well, I mean,
Give them a moment, for pity's sake. My nightfall, these hills will be swarming with.
And the reason the orcs aren't coming after them now is because orcs would turn to stone in sunlight. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pronouncing Legolas really weird.
Legolas, yeah.
It doesn't last, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. But I mean, it is kind of thing is like, okay, is it Gondalf or is it Gandalf or is it, so they do have a lot of little pronunciation tricks like that. So
Is it Han or Han?
Yep.
Well, whatever you feel, it doesn't matter.
So.
Depending on your accent and your native language, it either would be correct. So.
And here we get this scene running forward a ways. Lothlorien. That kind of one scene was kind of like you probably could cut that.
What, him seeing the
but where he just where you see him run forward.
Yeah, I was
to
like,
see
was
the
he? He
green.
looks really happy about something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a Lothlorien.
Oh, okay. And we meet Galadriel finally.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Well, first we meet Haldir.
Oh, I forgot just how much is in this movie.
Yeah,
oh my
it is.
god.
Yeah, they are long movies.
It just keeps going.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting to the end though. So we're coming up, but yeah, they are long movies. Anne is watching us too. It looks like so. Hi, Anne. Thank you for joining. You saw it pop up now. Yeah. And it is described that if granted, they don't hear the voices until they actually see her, but when she looks at you, her voice, you hear her voice in your head. So she wouldn't be hearing it yet, but and here.
Too bad they heard you breathing a mile away.
Yep. Turn around. Hello. Although what they say here in a
I like how Legolas is
Legolas is even yeah. Is that he actually says that about Sam, not about Gimli. He actually said Sam is the one breathing so loud that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, here. Yeah.
And you know what this wolf says to that? He's stuck with.
Yeah, that's just I was like, don't. You're lucky he doesn't just kill you right there.
Hobbits. What
Yep.
the fuck is this?
He doesn't know what hobbits are. He knew that because they knew about the fellowship, but they didn't know that they would be coming this way. So, yeah. Granted, I haven't read the book in a little bit, so I don't remember. I think they say that you can come this way, but they have to blindfold Gimli, and as a result, Aragorn insists that everybody's blindfolded, including Legolas, because
I think they end up doing that in the movie.
do they?
Yeah.
The only time
That's what they're arguing about now, I think.
Yeah. The only time they take the blindfold off is when they're crossing a river, is because we don't actually have a bridge across this river. The only way to cross it is we have to we have to throw two lines across. So you have to do a tightrope type thing. So they take the blindfold off so you can actually see what the flip you're doing. Yeah. And here it's like Boromir is actually a good guy.
I mean, he is. He's
Yeah.
just
It's just
corrupted by the ring.
that's what the ring does. So he's a good man. He's not.
I thought they did blindfold
think
him.
they
I guess
should.
not.
And those are Haldir's brothers who are with him, I should say. And here, the city of the elves. Yep. And I love when you actually see the buildings. They're almost like the trees grew these buildings, almost kind of.
Yeah.
Which I love. So, though it is kind of like, what are these lights? Where are all these lights coming from? It's never.
Things just glow.
Yeah, apparently.
That's it.
Because they're obviously not torches; they're just glowing.
Yep, just glowing lights somehow. Some of their stairs have handrails. It's just not the one they're using right now.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people.
Yeah, here's where it's like, you want to talk about handrails?
Oh my god.
But like I said,
fantasy just doesn't believe in safety regulations.
Like I said, elves are elves are like so attuned with nature that they don't need them because, like I said, to cross a river, they would literally just tie a tightrope and they could walk across it no problem.
Yeah.
There we see Celeborn and Galadriel. And Galadriel's one of the very few elves who would actually know the light of the two trees, which they kind of do. They give her like a sparkle in their eyes because
With
of that.
Christmas lights.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it is. It's on
Oh, they actually use.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's on the extras for this. They talk about how they get the light in her eye. They set up a bunch of Christmas lights so that it would reflect in her eyes to
That would
look like
work.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cheap way to do it. I would have thought that. I think Celeborn would. I can't remember if Celeborn would have seen the light of the two trees, so maybe not.
Yeah, see,
oh yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
lights.
you're right. Yeah,
Yep.
those were.
Yep.
That's a cheap way to do it.
Yep. It looks cool though,
Yeah,
yeah.
heck yeah. Yep. Yeah. Balrog of Morgoth. And Morgoth is basically Sauron's boss. So yeah, if you think Sauron's bad, Morgoth's 10 times worse. So, but thankfully he's already been defeated, so you don't have to worry about him. But yeah, you just see her looking at each, and they each, like I said, each of them are hearing her voice in their head. Yeah, and Gimli. Yep. I do love this of just he's absolutely captivated by her beauty, so and here's where you can really see like, okay, yeah, he's struggling to maintain eye contact, he just can't do it.
Now becomes
We don't need Gandalf.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, he'll come back later. He just decided to solo the boss so he could get all the XP and get level up. Pretty sure you've seen that meme. And here, I'm to Frodo. Oh, Sam, I forgot about Sam, but I think in the theatrical version they cut out most of this stuff where it just goes to Boromir and then to Frodo. She doesn't have everybody else in there. Yep. Although I do think the way she's looking at him there is a little bit. Although this is little. Hello.
Yeah, it was sudden.
Yeah. This is one of the actual songs I don't actually know from Lord of the Rings, but it is actually written out. And I think Sam actually says a part of it in this. But like that's the one of the very few songs I don't know. Yeah, like I said, elves are immortal, so they don't know what death is, so they've never. But yeah, and then Sam.
Finest rockets ever seen.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Sam.
Well, like I said, in the actual book, it's like every 5 pages, Sam primarily, but as someone's giving a whole song in speed. So, Gimli's story goes. Yeah, like I said, he has a whole song for them, but I can't. I don't. That's one of the, like I said, one of the ones
An
I don't know,
ode to Gandalf's fireworks. Mm-hmm. You live your whole life, and you're known by the silliest things you do.
You came here at the start of the Third Age, 1,000 years ago, and you still, all you remember is fireworks. Here's another good scene. Everybody did.
She said to me, even now there is hope left. I can see. It's long since reality.
Yeah. I do love this scene just because, like, you actually see Aragorn and Boromir like bonding, and yeah.
My father,
Yeah.
to his fate.
And here he's like, yeah, he is a good man. It's just he has the right ideas. It's just the wrong guy is setting up this trip. Honestly, he's a little too headstrong of himself. Granted, then there's that whole option of, okay, well, would it have been better to send Faramir? Because Boromir trying to take the ring from Frodo is what convinces Frodo to go straight to Mordor and not to linger any longer. Because that's even mentioned in the book that if Boromir didn't try to take the ring, it is very possible Frodo would have went to Minas Tirith and never would have left it, never would have set out again. He just wouldn't want to leave. So there's that whole argument of, okay, if Faramir had been sent and not Boromir, would the ring have actually been destroyed? It's hard to say.
Maybe Boromir would have been corrupted even worse.
Who knows? Yep.
Maybe he would have tried to take the ring and kill Frodo.
It does need to be said that Faramir spent a lot less time than what Boromir did around the One Ring. So it is very possible that Faramir also may have tried to take the ring. Because in the books, Boromir's only with Frodo for maybe a couple days, not even.
Yeah, and he spends a lot more time with him in the movie than he did in the book, right? Yeah.
Yeah. In this, it's like a week, maybe a week. But Boromir's with Frodo for probably a month at this point and has not fallen to it. So, although in the book, Sam also comes with. Sam also sees what happens here.
Look at this hairy little hobbit feet.
I do kind of wish they had Sam in this, but I understand why they cut him out because he is kind of a needless detail, unfortunately. But it should be mentioned they did plan on shooting the Scouring of the Shire, but they just the Return of the King is already 3 hours long theatrical version, and then with the like extended version, I think it's like 4 hours and 30 minutes or something.
We will find out on Saturday.
Had you included that, oh my gosh, it would have like I said, it would have been. I mean, it would the only thing it would have done is it would have necessitated Fatty Bulger but yeah. Yeah, this is the one part because they did actually shoot some scenes for Scouring the Shire, and this is where they put it in, and it works. Keep looking. You get a close up of like a couple of the Fellowship, and then. Although I'm curious why it started with Legolas and not like say.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And it doesn't even showcase Gimli. And yeah, you can see here that they're, like I said, they're scouring the Shire. And she knows. Ow. They would have just been slaves. And yeah, this is where the one scene where they're looking in the mirror, they see the eye read the flame, and that's why Peter Jackson went all in on the flaming eye. So, but in the book, like I said, Sam also sees it, and he's like, "I should go back. Maybe I can prevent that." And it's like, not really, but.
It is what will come to pass.
And here you're just like, okay, I understand that you're telepathic, but come on, now you're just showing off.
It's already begun. He will try to take the ring.
Who? I have no idea who you're talking about.
Oh gosh, the pointy, her pointy ear looked like it was failing it there.
No.
Yeah, did you? Yeah,
I didn't notice.
Yeah, her ear looked normal. If they cut back, I hope they cut back. We'll see. Yeah, you can see her ear is not really pointed. The silicone must be failing or something.
The hair is like in the way or something.
Maybe. Yeah, there it is. There's the point, but
I think it was just the angle. I think the hair was just covering the tip of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the hair is like over
Okay,
the
yeah,
tip.
right. Okay. I mean, granted, that is kind of one thing I don't like about the elves' ears because they basically just do this.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think they should have added made them a little bit more pronounced. I guess the best way to say it. I mean, granted, I understand why they don't because there's no way to cheaply do that, but. And then you have. Yep, and here where she says she's passed the test, she actually can't go back to the Undying right now. She's banned, and her doing that is what allows her to be able to go back into the West where she belongs. Because Middle Earth is hell for the elves, basically, because the elves are immortal. So it'd be like, I made this brilliant garden and it died. Okay, well, I made this gorgeous tree and it died. So, I mean, everything they do would die. The only reason she's still there is because, one, she's banned from the Undying Lands, and number two, since Sauron is since the ring Nenya is tied to the One Ring's power, she's using it to maintain everything there.
What's the name of the ring?
Nenya.
Nenya?
Yep.
Like none your business?
Yeah, kind of. Very funny. You had a great look there in the camera.
I had to.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you, but still. I should have seen that one coming, honestly.
I thought you did.
Isn't that a meme now that I think about it?
No, it's like, oh, you ask someone what they're doing, and you say Nunya. They're like, Nunya what? Nunya business.
Yeah.
It's
Nenya, but still.
It's so
But yeah, here.
Ew,
Yep.
that's fun.
And this aura is called Lurt. It's named Lurt. And the actor playing it, like I said, plays the Witch King later. He plays Sauron in the beginning scene. Yeah, every time they need a big hulking character, who do they pick? Hey, buddy!
Yep.
And he made bank on these movies, I can tell you that much. But yeah. Oh my god, they really fucked up those teeth. Holy shit. Although this kind of bugs me. It's like they put the handprints on it. It's like they're like almost having a weird reaction there.
Yeah, that was weird.
I do like they put the helmet on and then just wax it once because
Make sure it's fitting properly.
I don't think you need to whack it, but I do know that is a thing in the military where soldiers put their helmets on. They'll just kind of tap it once, but.
There's something great then.
Bring it to me.
And unspoiled.
Yeah, don't.
And you'll notice he's saying, bring it to me, because here's the thing, Saruman isn't actually on Sauron's side. He wants to claim the One Ring for himself.
Well, yeah.
Because here's the thing, if Saruman were to claim the One Ring for, because he's, like I said, he's also one of the Maiar, he could conceivably take the ring and wield it to the point of being able to defeat Sauron.
Look, see,
but it would still.
This scene was cut from the movie and the theatrical version, and I was really pissed about it because, like, you need to. The whole point in the second movie is that one of the clips falls, and like that, you're like, where did they even get these clips from?
Although they do cut a scene of, because they'll go through. Oh man, I like you see in the background, you see them loading up the boats. But this part here, it's like one small bite is enough to fill my stomach. How many did you eat? Yeah. And then just yeah. Yep. Yeah, and Sam is very he doesn't like water. Yeah, he hates water. Mary knows how to use boat too. He's comfortable, but
Oh, that's bad.
Yep. Yeah. And everybody gets a gift. They showcase the gift everybody gets except for Boromir. He does get a gift in the book. In the book, he gets a belt of gold. But yeah, they showcase everybody else getting their gifts. Hello, dog.
I was just mad how the theatrical version didn't show them all getting the cloaks with the pins. It
They
just,
definitely should have kept
it
that.
just cuts to them rowing away, clearly wearing it, and you're like, where did these come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah. But here. But yeah, like I said, yeah.
So
Yeah.
nice.
And here, they get nice little daggers.
Oh, they're hobbit
Yeah.
size.
Peregrine Took is the youngest of the Fellowship, if anybody cares, but.
And for you, Samwise.
And here.
Elven rope.
The reason that she gives Merry and Pippin the daggers and Sam rope is because Galadriel has foresight. She can't see the future, but she can see you're gonna need this more than you would need daggers. And here, it's like, what gift did we give the dwarf? She doesn't know dwarves. She's never really encountered dwarves that much, so she's very, what gift would you? Yeah. Although I do love this. It's like there is one thing.
Actually, that was one thing.
She quite literally commands him to tell her, and he
I have nothing greater than a gift. And the gift you already
I'll
have.
point it out when we get to it because there is kind of a little bit of a significance with what she gives him.
What, who, Gimli?
What she gives Gimli in the lore anyway, and it's just one of those things that I absolutely love, and I think everybody should hear it because it is kind of cool. But I kind of want to wait for them to and Valinor is the Undying Lands, basically the heaven of Middle Earth, I guess is the best way to say it, even though it's part of Middle Earth, but also not. It's hard to explain, but.
To rise above the height of all your fathers since the days of Ellen, or to fall into darkness, is all that is left.
Yep.
Namari,
Yep.
Varadna,
And yeah, but you saw that her give or Celeborn give him the absolutely awesome knife.
farewell for the companions.
Yep, and here
I give you the light that you need.
That's for two.
Yep. Arendelle is actually an elf that became a Snark. But anyway.
Oh.
Again, that's a complex lore issue that I'm not going to bother because it's just.
She uses in the third movie with the spider.
Yeah. Arendelle is actually Elrond's father, but like I said, how he became a star is a whole thing. I think here they're gonna say what Gimli got. I think maybe.
I was starting. Bring up my last on that.
Yep.
Ah, yes. I will know nothing else unless we could give you the. What was it? Asked her for one hair.
Yeah. He asked for one hair from the golden head, and she gave him 3. Before Galadriel came to Middle Earth, the elf Feanor asked Galadriel for a strand of her hair 3 times, and she denied it each time. So when Gimli asked, she gives her 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like I said, it doesn't mean much, no, but it's one of those it's one of those cool details that I adore. So I also should point out, Viggo Mortensen was this, according to Viggo Mortensen, this was his worst days having to film these because the body double, because the first day of filming, he got in the boat with the body double for Frodo, and he just, so he's rowing the boat, he just hears, Viggo, don't worry about me. And apparently that's how the body double sounded, and he's like, why? And he's like, well, I can't swim, so if we capsize, just you save yourself, don't worry about me. And then so we didn't have for the rest of the shoot, he's like, every tiny little rock the boat had, we got worried about it. Because he's like, I don't want to kill this guy.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yep, and the birds. We're gonna have one more little cameo of Gollum here before we get to the end blitz. So. We're gonna see them park the boats. Yep, here. They park the boats and wait. We see, yep, Boromir. Hello. Yep. They do nice on the hissy effect. Yep.
Because Smeagol used to be a fisher hobbit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't believe Sean Astin goes on to become Bob. Now what's that dude's name in 51st Dates? God, that was a weird role.
Yeah.
So weird.
I'm sorry, whenever I see Sean Astin, I always just think of him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh God, what did he do in that?
Where he was the hacker. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's the role that sticks out of my brain, honestly. Yeah, and they, like I said, they have this whole argument in the book of, okay, should we go to Minas Tirith or should we just proceed straight to Moria? Or or should we just proceed straight to Sauron? Oh my gosh,
You okay
I'm
there?
struggling here, people.
I can see that.
But yeah, they're debating: should we go to Minas Tirith and rest, and then go forth from a position of strength, or should we just go straight to Mordor? There we go. And Frodo's having the whole debate, and then that's where Boromir tries to take the ring from him, and that's where he decides, okay, just straight to Mordor. Don't linger anymore. And there is, like, they don't trust each other. And here, one kind of cool detail with this is if you actually look really closely, one detail they added is they kind of make it look like they had to they like carved most of this out of the mountain, but halfway you can just kind of see on the, like, right below the neck, you can see like the rock changes. So it's almost like they had to bring in more rock
To
finish this.
it.
Yeah, that's one tiny little detail that I always kind of gets me. Yeah, you can see it right. Yeah, you really see it there.
Yeah, you can see it. It starts to look like squares and not just like carved rock.
Yeah, I do
Especially
love
in,
that.
like, the hands and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, you do see it. Like,
Right
there's
there,
a line in the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then you hear, if you look closely, you see like Bird's nest on the guy's eye and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, you hear Bird's nest right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's crying birds. They look like tears.
Feathery tears. There's Rauros Falls, waterfalls, which I would not want to be coming anywhere near those because the current's going to get off a hell of a lot faster the closer you get. So. And here he's like, I know I shouldn't try. Yeah, he's having that whole discussion like, should I not? He's like, no, don't.
Hide the boats and continue on foot. We approach Mordor from the north.
Oh, yes.
Here, I'm a little bit surprised this didn't become a meme, honestly.
An impassable labyrinth of razor-sharp rocks.
I just love what Pip is like. This is it.
That is our road.
He's like, really?
Get some rest and recover your strength.
Here, it's like,
We should leave now. Boats patrol this shore. We must wait for cover of darkness. Southeastern shore of the forest. Shadow on the threat has been growing.
yep. Legolas is aware that they're being tracked by Order Guy, so. And here, apparently Sam's taking a nap almost.
There's no heat today. It's further.
Yep, and now,
Sam.
yep.
Sam, how did you take your eye off
Yep.
of him?
And then he's like, oh, crap, where's Boromir too? And he'll I'm on him. Here's
What is
one.
Frodo doing? Just exploring by himself?
Yeah, he goes off on his own to try and decide, okay, should we, because like I said, they're having the debate of should we go to Minas Tirith or should we, just go straight. So he comes off to this because they're kind of like, okay, we're gonna hold the tiebreaker and he's the deciding vote. So he goes off on his own to clear his mind to think about it, and then that's when Boromir confronts him. So he's not just out wandering alone.
You know why you seek so much beauty?
But yeah.
I see it at my name. Sure you do nothing easy.
Just he's like,
There are other ways, Frodo. Not possible, might say.
Know what you would say.
it's like, I understand what you're saying, but it's not coming. Yeah, you want the ring, not.
Then what?
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
A little too much there, Sean Bean. Because apparently Sean Bean loves to die in movies because he always dies in movies, except for Percy Jackson is the only one, and Troy are two movies I'm aware where he doesn't actually die.
There's a movie he plays the pilot of an airplane. He doesn't die in that one either.
Oh wow!
Not yourself.
I kept expecting him to, but no, he was just a pilot. That's all he did was fly the plane.
I don't know what movie that is. But
I don't remember what it was either. It was the whole movie took place on a plane, and Jodie Foster was in it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Pastor? Is
Sure.
that- I can't remember. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called either.
He's like a.
But yeah, Jodie Foster has her daughter on the plane, and then she's
Yeah, because her husband had died, and she was taking the body back.
and then here, pouch. Yeah, the ring actually does give you a bit of super strength if you put it on, so
You'll take the ring to Sauron.
so that's how he was able to really punch him off him.
And the death of us all. Curse you. Curse you. And all our place.
Yeah, and then out.
Oh,
He
that's
falls
supposed to
over, and
happen?
then he kind of hits his head, and then it's like that kind of what hit. It knocks the sense into him. He's like, "Yeah, I fucked up," and this is straight from the book too, of like him crying, like, "Fuck, I screwed up. I shouldn't have done that." This scene coming up here is one of my favorite parts of the book because it describes him of going up the stair. I'm on hand here. And he's like, and he's looking out, and he feels like basically Sauron's eye look like it gazes here. That it's like going closer to him, and that he feels that it draw closer to him, but he can't take the ring off until he hears Gandalf's voice saying, "Take it off," and then he manages to take it off. And it's like, I don't know how you would sell that in cinema. But it in a novel it works real well. So, granted, you could say that about these entire movies, but hey,
I mean,
yeah. Yep. And then here, this is the one part where, yeah, it's like you're saying a little too angry there. I understand why, but I think that was a little too much.
Protect me from yourself.
Yeah, it's like,
it's a good question.
And here, Frodo's just like offering it to pretty much everybody. Can you get rid of this, please? I don't want this anymore. Yeah, the ring also works on how much power you have. So, like, the more powerful you are, the faster the ring will corrupt you. That's why hobbits are very resistant to it because they don't crave a lot of power. A great example is when Sam takes the ring in the Return of the King. The ring shows him visions of like this giant, magnificent garden, and he's like, well, "Who wants a garden that big anyway?" So. Yeah, he's like, oh shit, how am I gonna tell Sam? And then he notices the blow. He's like, hello. But yeah, what you said earlier is a good question. How far is the range on that?
Yeah, like that's impressive.
Yeah. And here's like, all right, it's
Oh my
you
god,
versus
they're like,
100.
how did you not hear them coming? They're right there.
Yeah. And then Aragorn's never described as holding a shield, but I almost kind of think he should because here it's him versus at least 100 guys there, and none of them managed to hit him from behind. Although, granted, he does do the smart thing here of going up the stairs, making the thing only come at you one at a time.
Gotta get the high ground.
Yep, that too. Although, unfortunately, he gives up the high line to charge jump on the. Ow! There's no. Here we go. Back up. It just shoots one arrow through the guy. I do love that where he sticks the arrow into one of his eye and then uses it again. I forgot to mention when we first saw the Balrog, I was supposed to mention too. Boromir also blows the horn when they see the Balrog, and the Balrog actually hesitates because it's like charging forward. He blows the horn and then it stops. It's almost like afraid for a second. I should have mentioned that when we actually saw it, so my bad on that one, guys. But here. It's like, okay, Pippin, time to do something useful. Although he doesn't think he's doing something useful, but... It's like... Yeah, it's Harry's like, okay, we got this. And then Mary's like, yep, all right, we got this. We'll distract him. You get away.
I like how they're stupid enough to follow them.
Yeah.
Oh, these halflings are trying to get my attention.
Yeah, Well, granted, I would say orcs are kind of mindless.
Obviously.
I mean, Gimli even describes them as mindless later. So, also, I do love the knife work he's in there, but he's described as only having one knife in the book now too. But so, ow! I just take the sword, stab it backward. Why not? Oh shit!
We may have underestimated our.
Yeah, now we're in trouble.
Oh, this is bad. Boromir to the rescue!
Yep. Yeah, just totally. Although it's like, hey, you were told to take them alive. Why are you swinging an axe at them? But yeah.
Because, like you said, they're mindless and they forgot.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're just henchmen. They're not very good at it.
Yeah, just let's hear. I want to have the boom, boom,
How
boom.
has he not run out of arrows yet?
Yeah, I don't know. Barely, he's got several hundred. Gosh, you're lucky that didn't penetrate in the arrow one. And all the orcs are after Boromir now because they're like, Born, go after that. Although it is described that the first time he blows it, they panic, they flee for a little bit, but then they all start charging at him.
They're like, oh, there's no army here. It's just these 8.
Yeah, but when he first blows it, they're like, oh shit, that's the army. But no, it's like, no, it's just one guy. You missed it by a mile there, buddy. That was a little much. Do we see the horn actually get chopped in half?
I think so.
We should. I don't know if we do or not. Yeah, here. This one hurt. Ow! Although here's the thing, I'm pretty sure getting hit with a rock at that, even if you're wearing a helmet, would give you concussion. I don't think it would kill you though.
No, I don't think it would either.
Ow! That guy got fucked up. Yeah, but yeah, apparently they just die instantly. It seems like if a bad guy throws a rock at a good guy, it just damages him for a little bit. But if a good guy throws a rock at a bad guy, it kills him instantly. Ouch!
It's
Yeah,
one arrow.
that would.
Takes more than one.
Yep.
I think it's still going. It's fine.
Yep, but he still, keeps going.
He takes a good minute.
Although here's the thing: if you had an arrow in your shoulder like that, would you be able to use that arm?
I feel like it would be pretty difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, you great. You can see he's not really in the stomach now.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's gonna get you.
Yeah, now you're
Nope, it's not
And
dead
this
yet.
time, yeah, you're dead at
He's
this time.
not dead yet. No, the liver's just a
Well,
slow kill. That's not
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
kill
slow.
you
When I say he's dead, I mean he's gonna die,
Definitely
but
gonna die,
he's
yeah.
got a few, maybe an hour left before. But
Very painful.
yeah, but yeah, it's like, fuck you, keep going. It's like, yeah, he's clearly only using one arm, so their armor apparently sucks if he can just cut through. Oh, he is using his second arm there.
Kind of, yeah.
Unfortunately, ow.
Oh, that's the third one.
Yeah, and mind you, look at how thick those arrows are.
They are such massive arrows.
I don't think you could actually fire an arrow that big from a bow because those are so huge. It's like a trebuchet bolt almost.
Wow, they ran right. They looked like they were giving them hugs instead of trying to.
Yeah,
them.
that is one of. It's like you're supposed to be going up to stab them, not get captured right away. But yeah, they just get captured right away. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I can't do anything else. Like, got nothing left. And here, Lawrence just comes up, just all the other orcs are running past him, and then just one just stops at it. It's like, yeah. Although this kind of bugs me. It's like, you have a sword. Why are you gonna shoot up an arrow directly into his face?
Arrow number 4, lucky number 4.
Why not? Yeah. But hello. Yeah. Here. Obviously, but yeah. The one scene that gets me is coming up here in a second. Ow. Stab with a knife.
Stab in his leg? Like, where did he stab him?
In the leg.
Okay.
Yeah. He's gonna pull the knife out.
It's still right
yeah,
there.
this part
God,
here.
that like went through his leg.
Yeah.
Oh.
But here, he chucks.
That's
not sanitary at all. But he chucks the blade at Aragorn. It's like he just chucked a real life knife at the actor. Granted, you can tell by looking at it that it wasn't going to hit him regardless, but it's still very fucking close. But here, bye. I kind of small part of me does kind of think that it should be like, that scene where you see, Lurtz holding the sword in his stomach and Aragorn standing there. I do kind of feel like you should have Boromir come up and just like stab him in the back almost, but I understand why not, because he's got 3 arrows in his gut. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got.
You can't. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and here's like, what do you tell a guy who's dying and has suffered like the worst mistake he's ever done in his life and is now dying because of it? Unfortunately, we did not see the horn get cut, which we we
didn't see it. That's weird.
Although I'm a little bit surprised he's not spitting up more blood, considering he's got an arrow in his stomach. But he's got just a tiny little bit there, where I think it'd be like more like all over the place. Although he does look very pale, so yeah.
Because he's dying.
Yeah. And here, this is very a medieval thing where it's like you die with your sword in hand, so they kept that for this. And then if you look at the background, you see a couple of the orc dead guys kind of moving around, but it's obviously just extras laying there pretending to be dead. And I'm sorry, after so long, you can only sit still for so long. They get antsy, so. And then here, he doesn't actually say that in the book, but this is the one part where I think the movie does better for Boromir's death. And then
why does Aragorn's hair constantly look wet? Like, it's literally always dripping.
He's a very sweaty, like you said earlier, he's a very sweaty man, apparently.
Oh my God.
I'm very sweaty. Let me cover you with my sweat. Because you see Boromir's hair was all dry.
Look at how gross his fingernails are.
Oh, wow, you're right. Holy cow.
Black. They've all been like,
what you been doing? Digging a tar? My God.
Oh, jeez.
You're right. Holy cow. That was. And here they have a whole song. And yes, again, I know the entire song. That's just the first verse of it. Well, they didn't finish the first verse. He's supposed to say from mountain or from sea, but. And then here, yep. I kind of wonder, it's like, why is he holding the ring there? It's just kind of, you'd think he'd just be having it in his pocket instead of holding it. It's almost like, yes, we're going this way, ring, look.
Right.
But
doesn't he wear it on a chain around his
yeah,
neck?
yeah, you see it on a chain.
Yeah, it is on a chain.
So you'd think he'd wear that, he'd have that on his neck by now, but
ring at some point. I know I did. I also have an action figure of Legolas. You have to bust that out someday.
Very cool. I think my older brother has one too.
He even has like karate chop action.
Oh, nice.
It is amazing.
Very cool. Yeah, I've been here. Gandalf voiceover. Yep. We're coming up to the end here.
Finally.
Yeah. Like I said, these movies are long. That's kind of why I want to do this one now instead of trying to squeeze all into one day, because that would just be hell. I don't know. I don't. Frodo's also described as not being too well in both, so it's a little bit like he's a little. I got some. This is the one scene where where someone really got injured. Is Sam runs into the water, and they obviously looked. They tried to make sure there was no trash or anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his foot found the one piece of glass that they missed, and yeah. And yeah, they had to take him they had to come by helicopter because there's no road or access here. So it's just call the helicopter, get him out of here. And yeah, Sam can't swim, obviously.
Go back for your friend. Jeez, why are you still...
Apparently, hobbits are also denser than humans. Because that's one thing, is actually, if you stay calm, you will float. Humans are less dense than water.
It depends on how much body fat you have. Some people do float better than others.
Yeah. But just stay calm, take a deep breath, obviously. Because
all that you're already underwater.
Yeah, well, if you're already underwater, then you're screwed. But yeah, that is one thing. And also here, make sure you put weight on the other side of the boat so he doesn't tip it over.
Yeah, don't capsize it.
Yeah.
I made a promise, Mr. Broad. A promise.
Yeah.
Don't you leave him somewhere, Scamgy.
And he's still dripping wet, so I'm just curious for when because they obviously had to do multiple takes. I'm curious because I don't think he'd be dripping wet for that long after. So I'm almost thinking like, okay, did they make him gump his head after every take?
That's usually what they do with stuff like that. You can tell his clothes.
Yeah, you're right.
Dry.
It's
just
his hair's wet.
Yeah.
So yeah, just dunk your head every.
That's probably what they did at the beginning of every take.
It's probably
Takes too long to change out of what clothes for all the different scenes, so they usually just wear
And
dry clothes and you just wet the hair.
And here you see him take the
they
braces.
cleaned up Boromir. He looked all pretty.
But yeah, Aragorn took Boromir's bracers and keeps them for the rest of the movies. You see him wearing them when he's Crown King.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And here.
This is very.
Yeah, my hair is like, yeah. You mean not to go after
We have to go after Elizabeth.
Wait, wrong movie.
Wrong movie.
Wait, you're not that guy. No.
I pledged my bow, dude.
Yeah. How can he have my bow if he doesn't have my bow?
He's got a full quiver of arrows. Mm-hmm. Where did they come from?
I'm assuming he pulled them all out of all the orcs he shot.
Sure.
Because otherwise, how else is it full still? What are you so worked up? No, you can't come on the couch. Yeah, here.
Not while we have strength left.
All that can be spared behind.
Travel light.
Travel light.
This is awesome.
That's handsome.
There's a call to action for you. And Gimli's all hyped.
Heck yeah. Look at this nice shot of New Zealand.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Now, obviously, the mountains in the background are obviously CGI, but all the mountains here in the foreground are real. You can actually, if you actually look closely, you actually see where they cut it out.
No.
Oh,
Oh my God, still calling him Strider.
Yep. So Frodo was calling him Aragorn, but Sam's still calling him Strider.
For some reason, it's just really weird. Like when you meet someone, however they introduce you, it's really weird to switch names.
Yeah. Sam is. Oh, I mean, Tolkien even said that Sam's the hero of the Lord of the Rings, not Frodo. It's Sam, but yeah, you can see that where, like I said, all the mountains here in the foreground are real, but everything beyond that CGI, and you can tell, honestly. What?
Wolfwide. Wolfie.
You are such a spoiled dog, are you?
No,
And that's the end of the Fellowship of the Ring.
We made it!
Directed by Peter Jackson.
3.5 hours.
So yeah,
We made it.
I don't think we did, Dave. Oh, I forgot to one more thing. I forgot. I'll mention it in the second movie. I saw Fran Walsh's name, but it's something else. But I'll mention it in the next movie.
Oh, okay.
We have plenty of time for it, so
Me too.
I don't think we need to watch the credits. So
No, we do not.
yeah, we're getting pretty late there already. So
All
thank
right,
you
guys.
everybody for joining us.
Thank you.
I look forward to meeting a bunch of you guys in person tomorrow. Woohoo! You met most of them, I think, but yeah, I haven't, unfortunately. So that'll be fun. Also, we are hosting a panel at the end of it at 4 o'clock.
Yep. 4
So-
o'clock Central Time. We will
Yep.
be doing a Snarkfest live of I don't know what we decided yet. We'll see how with
Obi-Wan?
this.
Or
Yeah, I think we're gonna try Obi-Wan.
I think so. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Woohoo! So thanks everybody for joining. Hope we see you tomorrow. Have good night. Good night. I'm gonna have to have you. I don't want to reach over you.
Yeah, no, I'll get it.
Bye bye.